Alrighty then. It's another Flex Friday. It's your boy, Mr. CJ Curry himself. It's the CJ Curry Show. It's presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is making your daily fantasy sports experience easy. All you got to do, folks, select anywhere from 2 to 6 of your favorite superstars from your favorite sports. You decide whether they're going to go for more or if they're going to go for less. You get them all right, you can win up to 25 times your money. That's what we're going to try to do today. Today is Flex Friday. Shout out to all my flexers out there. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a flex entry to step to. And we're going to be doing that today, guys. We're going to be hitting you with a flex 6 pick. We're going for 25x. You can turn $20 up to $500 today. Risk-free. What a great promotion, man. Anybody out there excited about Flex Friday? Leave a flex emoji for me. Leave a flex emoji for me. Thank you so much for everybody who's been watching the videos lately. I know there's a lot of new subscribers. There's a lot of new folks tailing picks that I've been posting in these YouTube videos. And these YouTube streets been hot, y'all. The YouTube streets have been absolutely hot. We've been on fire, man. Fuego. For my bilingual friends out there. Fuego. All right. Hey, look at everybody flexing. Shout out to everybody who's joining me live, man. I got a lot of flexers. A lot of flexers in the building. Over 400 people watching. Run those likes up for your boy. Let's get them up, up, and away. Let's get them as high as we can. To the moon. To the moon. If you're a Dub Club member, Dub Club stand up. Drop a DC in the chat, in the live chat if you're a Dub Club member. I want to see how many people are representing the Dub Club. Who's in my Dub Club that's joining me live here? DC it up, y'all. Boom. Check it out. Wow. 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 Lots of Dub Club members in the chat. Appreciate everybody, man. Wow. A lot of new subs. Hey, appreciate all the new subscribers too, man. We are going to the moon. To the moon. 17,336. 337 subscribers. A lot of y'all are Dub Club members. I've been paying everybody's Dub Club off. Have I not? With my YouTube videos? Have I not been paying you guys handsomely? I mean, we've been cooking up a storm. Hey, let's get a little warm up going. We're gonna play some Pirtle. For those of y'all don't know, Pirtle, NBA player guessing game. We're trying to figure out who the mystery player is. I'm gonna start with the man himself, Mr. Jakob Poeltl of the Toronto Raptors. That'll be our first guess. And here's what we know about today's mystery player based on the first guess. It is not Jakob Poeltl. This player does not play in the Eastern Conference, but could be a center, maybe a hybrid power forward / center. Somebody who's around 7 feet tall, but not quite 7 feet tall. Maybe 6'10", 6'11". 28 years old, pretty close, but this player is probably about 29 or 30. And the jersey number 19. A little too high. This person's going to be wearing a jersey number below 19. We got any guesses who this mystery player might be? Somebody said Kevin Durant. Ooh. I don't think Kevin Durant's jersey number is below 19 though, right? Isn't he back to 35 or something like that? Clint Capella's out east. Not going to be Clint Capella. Anthony Davis. That could be an interesting one. AD fits a lot of this criteria. Let's go with AD and see where that gets us. Maybe that'll get us a little bit closer, even if it's not exact. Oh! Whoa. Who the hell said that, man? Did y'all already play today? For real. The real Quan said Anthony Davis. Were you the only one that said Anthony Davis? I think you were. Bro, you're a cheat code. You're a cheat code. How'd you know it was AD? How'd you know it was AD, man? You a op? You an informant? You an insider? Or maybe you just know ball. I'm going to say you probably just know ball. But yes, it was Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. Plays in the Western Conference Pacific Division, forward/center. He's exactly 6'10" tall, according to Pirtle here. 30 years old, and he wears jersey number 3. Jersey number 3. All right, so there you go. Hey, we got our little brains warmed up here. Played some Pirtle. Take a look at today's NBA injury news. News that we need to stay on top of, obviously, because news affects our player props directly, folks. It's a direct impact. You know, if a player's ruled in and or ruled out, hey, that could cook some of our picks real quick. And we ain't trying to do that. No, we ain't trying to lose money. We ain't trying to donate, especially not on Flex Friday. So taking a look here, we got Trae Young, who's dealing with some sort of unknown illness. He's questionable tonight. We got Jamal Murray. He's probable. He played in the last game, should be playing tonight. Kristaps Porzingis is available. He was one that I talked about in today's video. We looked at that Drew Holiday 17.5 points and assist line. And I said if Kristaps Porzingis is active and he's not on a minutes restriction, then maybe we could play Drew Holiday under 17.5 points and assists. He's got a really low hit rate in terms of going over 17.5 points and assists. So anyway, Porzingis looks like he's going to be a good to go for Boston. Evan Mobley, questionable, dealing with a knee issue. You got DeAndre Ayton, doubtful, also dealing with a knee injury. Malcolm Brogdon of Portland, also dealing with a knee injury. Seems to be the thing these days. Questionable to play tonight. He ended up exiting the game early in the last one. You got Jordan Clarkson dealing with a thigh issue. He's questionable. Mark Williams of the Charlotte Hornets, back issue is questionable tonight against Toronto. Jalen Suggs is out. So no Jalen Suggs, no Markelle Fultz for my Orlando Magic, which means it's probably going to be a lot of Anthony Black, Cole Anthony, some Gary Harris. Might even see some Caleb Houston off the bench or something. I mean, I don't know. We're getting kind of thin at the guard spot. We were really deep at one point to start the season. Now we're getting kind of thin at the guard spot. Injuries happen, y'all. Speaking of injuries, Duncan Robinson dealing with a groin issue, but he's probable. He's good to go. We talked about Duncan Robinson a couple videos back. He went over his 18.5 PRA. Y'all remember that? Some of y'all were sleeping on Duncan Robinson saying, oh, I feel some type of way about taking Duncan Robinson's props. And Duncan Robinson against the Raptors ended up cashing for us, as many of our recent picks have. So Daniel Gafford is dealing with an ankle injury. He is questionable tonight for the Washington Wizards. All right. So that's kind of the rundown, the breakdown, all your different issues, injuries around the association. So be careful. You know, we want to make sure we're kind of working around these different injuries, avoiding potentially taking props from players on these teams. Because, you know, these guys get ruled in and then our overs quickly become unders, or our unders quickly become overs. So got to be careful, man. Appreciate everybody. 161 likes, 163 likes, 544 people deciding to spend some time with me live here on Flex Friday. So let's head over to the PrizePicks board. In case you guys don't know, Flex Friday, one of the best promotions, I think, of any app, daily fantasy sports app. Here's what you got to do, though. You got to go to promotions, all right? And you got to opt in. Now, hold on a second. What do I got here? I got two? Do I have two different protected plays? Interesting. I don't know why that is. Who the hell is this? Fats the Barber. This man ain't got no shirt on. He's tittied out on the PrizePicks promo tab right now. What? What PrizePicks? What are y'all doing, man? Make this dude wear his shirt. Nobody trying to see that, man. Look at me. I'm getting close to the screen. What is he doing? Oh my Lord, PrizePicks. Y'all are scaring me. Anyway, golly, that'll wake you up. All right, well, I got two different, I don't know, somehow I got two different protected plays. I guess I'm going to opt into the $20 one. Let's go for the $20 one, right? I mean, maybe I'll make another one later with the $5 one. I have no idea who this man is or why he's got his breasticles all over my screen right now. Is he really a barber or what? Like, what is his gimmick? Y'all let me know. I don't know who this man is, but all I see is titties. Well, I had to zoom in. I mean, I'm getting close to the screen. My eyes just ain't what they used to be. I thought I saw what I saw, but I had to get a closer look. I'm like, damn. Look like some milk jugs right there. Anyway, we got our protected play activated. So if you're wondering how to take advantage of the Flex Friday play, you got to go to the promotions tab. Disregard the porn that they got on their site. They got full on frontal nudity here, apparently. But yeah, you got to opt in. Got to opt in for Flex Friday. Go ahead, opt in. I don't know, for some reason, I've got 2 protected plays. Do you guys have 2 protected plays, or is it just me? Does PrizePicks just like me? Now, on top of that, I also noticed I had $25 in promo credits in my account. I don't remember having those last night. Did y'all get any protected plays, multiple protected plays, and or additional promo credits? Weird. I ain't never had that. I ain't never had that before. We got it now, though. Man, they blessing us all types of ways. Got some promo credits, 2 protected plays, and 2 chocolate milk jugs in the promos tab, man. Just waiting for you to sip on them milk jugs. All right. Let me chill, man. All right, what do we got here? Let's pull in the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Got to get the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer pulled up here. Un momento. Give me a moment. Pull this thing up. Daily Grind. Man, where is it at? DGF. There we go. Yeah, we can't go building any 6-pick flex entries without the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Guys, if you want to get your hands on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, check it out. Link down in the description. They got everything on there. They got the optimizer. They got the middling tool. They got the fantasy score projections. Got a little bit of everything for you folks. Let's blow this mug up. Let's get it to where you can see it. We'll switch. We'll clear out all the leagues. We're just going to focus on NBA. Is that cool with y'all? I mean, we don't really care about like esports and all that, do we? Huh? We don't really care about esports. We could just go NBA, right? Don't act like y'all don't like milk. Who don't like milk in here? We like milk. I like milk. Chocolate milk especially. Pause. All right. Just go ahead and say that. Pause. Yeah, we're going to build an NBA slip. Now, there's a lot of fantasy score options up here on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer right now. I mean, I don't know. Here's what I've noticed about these fantasy scores. These fantasy scores, you'll see them, a lot of them will be unders on this optimizer, but then you go out and you check out some fantasy score projection models, and then they're always like projected over. And so you're kind of left in this weird situation where you got to either choose the projection or choose what the optimizer is telling you to do. And oftentimes I don't like, having to choose between the two. So what I typically do with the optimizer is I go down here and I unclick the player fantasy score, because all I want to see is non-fantasy score prop options. And then so that filters kind of filters all those out. Now, if you want to take the fantasy scores, you can take the fantasy scores. But like I said, I've noticed that they're always unders, and it kind of goes against what I've seen on these projection models. But anyway, here's what we got here. Now I'm going to also avoid steals, blocks and steals, 3-point makes, turnovers. I just don't like to get into any of those props too much. I mean, 3-point makes not too terrible, but like turnovers, blocks, steals, kind of an unpredictable, wild stat, very volatile. So I'm going to stay away from that. So you can also filter these out on the optimizer if you so choose. Let's see. Player steals and blocks. Like I want to just stick to like the points, the rebounds, the assists, or the combination of those. So I think we got most of them out of there. You can take turnovers off too. That's what I'm going to probably do, is just remove the turnovers. We'll leave the 3-point makes. I'm cool with looking at 3-point makes. So, all right, here's kind of what you're left with when you kind of filter out some of those different ones. I mean, Eric Gordon looking like the top play on the optimizer once you filter out all the rest of the stuff. At 3.5 assists, looking like a plus EV play for the under. 53.8% chance that he stays under tonight. And you got De'Aaron Fox for under 2.5 3-point makes. Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder for under 4.5 rebounds. This one's got about a 53.7% chance of hitting. And so what this tool does is it actually goes out there and it looks at all the different sports books. It kind of takes a look at how the betting odds are on those. It takes out the VIG and basically gives you true odds of a prop hitting or, going over or under in this case. So that's kind of what you're seeing here and why this tool is so invaluable if you're playing on PrizePicks. I mean, most of the time when you guys see stuff get bumped up and bumped down, it's because it's going to the top of the optimizer here. And when it goes to the top of the optimizer, everybody who's using the optimizer and is subscribed to the tool, they flood in, they take the picks, they put them in their PrizePicks entries and put money on it. And so PrizePicks has to adjust accordingly, right? So they'll bump stuff up, bump stuff down, they'll take stuff down. Kind of like we saw with the Julius Randle props from this morning's video. We had Randle over 8.5 rebounds. We had Randle over 13.5 rebounds and assists. And I think both of those are now bumped up by 0.5. I still think they're cool at 0.5 higher than where they started at 8.5 and 13.5 respectively. So if you didn't take them yet and you're thinking about taking them or wondering if you should take them, I still think that they make for a good play. Just a half a point bump up, it's not that major, but if it goes up to a full point, in other words, if Randle goes from 8.5 to 9.5 rebounds, that's where I start to kind of get a little gun shy and I back away from it. And I recommend that you guys might do that same thing. Or if his rebounds and assists go from 13.5 all the way up to 14.5, I would say chill on it. You don't have to take it if it gets bumped up a full point. All right. Chris Raptor saying Trae Young is out. Is that true, y'all? Did we just get some breaking news? Let me refresh. It has not hit yet on this Underdog article. Let me take a look here on RotoWire. Trae Young out for Atlanta. That would be big news. That would be some big news, folks. Can anybody confirm? I still show him as questionable as of right now, according to RotoWire. But he might have just gotten ruled out. Yeah. All right, so the Hawks have been taken down because Trae Young is out. Well, yeah, PrizePicks will do that. So as soon as some news hits, PrizePicks will go and they'll just rip down the entire board for that player's team. In this case, the Atlanta Hawks. So Trae Young not going to play tonight. Apparently he's sick. He got the bubble guts. Maybe he drank some of that milk. Maybe he got some of that milk. He ain't feeling so good. His tummy hurt. Now, it seems like everybody's sick this time of year, though, don't it? Seems like everybody's dealing with some kind of little sniffles, cold or something. I mean, it's going around, y'all. Protect yourself. Stay hydrated. Keep your vitamin intake high. Eat healthy, all right? Keep yourself from getting sick. We don't want anybody getting sick out there. Let's look at Eric Gordon real quick. We'll get to some of these super chats. Thank you for the super chats, by the way. Anybody who leaves a super chat, obviously I'll prioritize super chats before all the other questions, comments, concerns that are in the live chat. Just the way it goes, gang. People are reaching into their pockets to support via super chat. I got to take care of them first, all right? And there's like over 700 of you in here, and there's only one of me, so I can't get to everybody's questions. But those who have super chatted me, I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. Hang tight. All right, let's look at some of these. We're going to look at Eric Gordon under 3.5 assists. I think everybody for Phoenix is pretty much active as far as like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, etc. I don't think Phoenix is really dealing with any sort of major injury news or issues. Let me take that back. I take that back. My bad. I've been sleeping. Kevin Durant is out. Grayson Allen is out. So taking the under on Eric Gordon's 3.5 assists kind of seems, I don't know about that. People are betting it under, though. Obviously, the juice is loose for the under at 3.5, which is why he's up there at the top of the optimizer. Let me not try to pretend like I know more than these projection models and know more than what's going on these sports books, all right? Because we don't, and that's just the name of the game. They know more than us. Here's what I can tell you, though. Eric Gordon, if he gets bumped down to 3 assists, then we might want to jump on the over at 3. As of right now, though, he's being bet under for 3.5. But he's projected for 4.2. So that could be one of those ones that we kind of monitor. If it gets bumped down from 3.5 to 3, then maybe we take the over at 3 assists. And it could tie. It could potentially push at 3 assists, but that's all right. It's not the end of the world. I wouldn't want to put too many of those type of props in my 6-pick flex. Because, you know, if it ties or pushes, it goes from a 6-pick down to a 5-pick. And if you have more than one of those props that could tie, it could go from a 5-pick down to a 4-pick, and all of a sudden your 25x payout is a 5x payout. We don't want that. Not on Flex Friday. Not whenever it's a risk-free shot at going for 25 times our money. So just be careful taking too many of those props in your 6-pick flex that could potentially tie or push. We don't want too many of those. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on Eric Gordon, but as of right now, he is projected for more than 3.5, which kind of goes against what the optimizer's telling us to do. Seems like a lot of people are betting that one for the under. So if it goes down to 3, then maybe we take it over at 3. But right now, I'm going to leave that one alone. How about Yusuf Nurkic? 13.5 rebounds and assists. You got about a 53.8% chance of him clearing this number. 14 or more from Big Nurk without KD and Grayson Allen. Might not be a bad look. So let's run some projections on him real quick. These projection models, guys, you got to pay for these, but you know, since you're subscribed to the channel and you're rocking with me, we're taking a look at the little sneak preview here. He's going up against Domantas Sabonis and the Sacramento Kings. First projection here has him at 13.8, which is closer to 14 than 13, right? Because we need at least 14 if we're going to be taking the over on Yusuf Nurkic. So the first projection there looking pretty decent for Nurkic. Let's take a look at a second projection. In this case, we're looking at RotoWire. RotoWire, another one of these paid sites, but again, we homies. And my homies, they get to get the little sneak preview here. He's projected for 16.2 rebounds and assists over on RotoWire. So two pretty solid projections here for Yusuf Nurkic. I think he could make a fine first play for us. Like we mentioned, Phoenix is going to be a little short-handed. Maybe there's going to be more rebound and assist opportunities for Nurkic without KD and Grayson Allen around. So I don't hate that. Now, here's something to kind of keep in mind. When you first start to like build out your entry on PrizePicks, you'll notice that there's this little checkbox down here. You got to make sure that if you're going to use your protected play for Flex Friday, that you check that box. That tells PrizePicks, hey, this is the entry that I want to deem as my protected play. Meaning if you lose, you don't profit on the entry, you're going to get the full $20 back in promo credits the next day. Okay? So make sure you're checking the box on whichever entry you want to be your protected play. In this case, I'm going to go for either a 5-pick or a 6-pick. I'm going to swing for the fences because, hey, why not? It's risk-free, right? It's risk-free. Hardy Boy says, I just joined the Dub Club. You're a real one, Hardy. Thank you for joining the Dub Club. Appreciate that. Yeah, Trae Young is definitely out, as we just learned. Everyday Fantasy, appreciate you. Yeah, why take Booker under if Durant is out? It's a risky play. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. But yeah, Yusuf Nurkic over 13.5 rebounds and assists is projecting very favorably. He's being bet over for 13.5. We can also check another projection if you guys want to check a third one. Check out Numberfire. Numberfire is a really nice site. Totally free too, by the way. I know y'all might be strapped for cash around this time of year. I know Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. You're looking for ways to save. Well, here's a great tool, numberfire.com. You can use this tool for free, and it's got projections that could help you out with making some decisions on your player props. 14.3 projected rebounds and assists, though, for Nurk. So I think the 13.5 is definitely in play. Like I said, Suns shorthanded. I don't mind taking Yusuf Nurkic for more than 13.5 rebounds and assists. What do you guys think, though? Those of you who are joining me live, all 647 of you who are joining me live, are we rocking with Nurkic? Let's look and see how the Sacramento Kings have done against opposing centers over the last 7 games. I mean, they're giving up a pretty healthy number of rebounds, over 15 boards and nearly 5 assists per game. So that's about 18 rebounds and assists. So the matchup's not terrible. Sacramento's not exactly slowing bigs down in the rebounds and assist department. So I think it makes for a fine play. Nothing's guaranteed, obviously. We don't know for sure that it's going to hit, but I think it's a good first option. So we got him in there. Hopefully it doesn't bump. Things do tend to bump on these live streams, so if you really, really like it, you should probably take it. Now, if too many of you take it, what's going to happen is PrizePicks is going to be forced to make a move. They're going to be forced to bump this guy up to 14. So you guys don't take it all at once, all right? Hold your horses. Let us build out a 6-pick together. Don't go rush. No, they didn't bump it. Did they bump it? They didn't bump it on PrizePicks, did they? Tell me they didn't bump it. It looks like it's still 13.5 as of right now. As of now, so. Lucas is saying no, he has only broken 14 rebounds. Well, we're looking at rebounds and assists, Lucas. Not just rebounds, but both rebounds and assists. Okay. Give me the numbers on what he's done with rebounds and assists. Anyway, continuing to work through this board here. Bojan Bogdanovic made his return to the Detroit Pistons not that long ago. He had himself a pretty nice game. But tonight, despite the fact that Jalen Duren's out, Bogdanovic going up against the Orlando Magic, 24.5 points and rebounds. They're saying take the under. So I think they're looking at maybe the pace of this game against Orlando. They're looking at the fact that Orlando is a pretty tough defensive team. And that's why you're getting some unders here for Bojan Bogdanovic. 24.5 points and rebounds, 53.5% chance that he stays under. So let's run some projections on Bogdanovic real quick. He is undoubtedly there to shoot and score for the Detroit Pistons. I think they've really missed having his veteran presence on the team. Because outside of him, I mean, there's just a lot of young cats on this Pistons squad. I mean, I think you had what's his name coming off the bench, Mr. Microwave. He comes off and scores. Dang it, I can't think of his name. Burks. He was coming off the bench too as a nice little veteran presence and a bucket getter. But yeah, Bojan Bogdanovic back in the lineup. He's projected tonight for 25.7 points and rebounds. So despite the fact that they're saying, hey, take the under, I mean, he's projected to go over. So this could be another one of those plays where if it does truly get bumped down to like a 24 or a 23.5, because he is at 23.5 on a lot of sports books. So if he gets bumped down to 24 or 23 and a half, then, you know, we could probably take the over there, take a shot on it, being that he is projecting so high. Desmond Bane under 5.5 assists. That's another plus EV play. I mean, you could just lock these in. You don't have to like look at the projections like I do. If you're using the optimizer and you just want to play these and you don't give a damn about the projections, then go ahead. Because I see some of y'all are like in a hurry. You're like, hurry up, hurry up. Hey, you hurry up. Go ahead and put in whatever you want to put in. I'm going to take my time and do my due diligence though and kind of look into things a little bit closer, a little bit further. So if you're patient, then you know you could wait for me. But if you're impatient, you got a lot of plus EV options up and down this screen right now. You could just jump on these ASAP if you're in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, lock them in. I mean, this is free information I'm giving you. Lock them in and be on your way. Cool? And it's always refreshing. I've got it set to automatically refresh, so the latest odds are pulled in. But Desmond Bane under 5.5 assists tonight. Let's go take a peek at that one. He's going up against Minnesota. I like to see if Desmond Bane's projected for more or less. And in this case, he's projected for quite a bit more assists than 5.5. He's at 6.8. So again, this could be another one where we wait for the bumps to happen. Maybe it comes down to 5.0. He gets like a half a point bump down on the assists. And then you could potentially jump on the over at a nice projection here of 6.8 assists. So again, when the projections and the odds, they don't align, I just kind of leave it alone. I'm looking for everything to be in alignment, in agreement. And so in this case, this is one of those ones where it's projecting higher than the line at 5.5, but people for some reason are betting the under at 5.5 too. So I'm just going to let that one chill right there. I'm not going to take that one or touch that one. What else do we have? Killian Hayes. We talked about him on today's early video, under 3.5 rebounds. I still think I have the props.cash page. Oh no, it refreshed. It's gone. Anyway, Killian Hayes had done a really good job of going under 3.5 rebounds when like Jalen Duren is out. When you have like Isaiah Stewart, Bojan Bogdanovic, and some of these other guys in the lineup, I think it's going to impact Killian Hayes. You could also take the under on Killian Hayes points at 10.5. That was also another good look that we discussed in today's early video. But because I already have exposure to Killian Hayes under 3.5 rebounds, I'm not going to run it twice. I've already ran it once. That's just a personal strategy of mine. I don't like to reuse or recycle too many players or too many player props. Because if that player has a really bad game, well, then it's going to sink multiple entries, multiple slips that you've made, right? Like in this case, if we take the under on Killian Hayes at 3.5 rebounds in multiple entries, and he decides to get 4 rebounds because, hey, stuff happens. Now all of our entries are basically dust. And so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to stay away from taking him more than once, being that I've already taken him once today. SGA under 5.5 rebounds. 53.3% chance that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander stays under 6 boards. So let's run the numbers on that one real quick. I like looking at these projections and seeing if SGA is projected for more or less. And in this case, he's going up against Golden State tonight. There's a healthy projection for him to go under right here at 4.5 boards. So the line's 5.5. He's projected for 4.5. So the first projection here provided by Fantasy Labs has him going under 5.5 rebounds. Checking out a second projection. Again, this is RotoWire. RotoWire's got him at 6.5 rebounds. And the line's at 5.5. So you got a projection at 4.5, the line at 5.5, and then a projection of 6.5. So let's run another projection here to kind of break this projection tie for SGA. SGA is going to be at 5 rebounds over here on NumberFire. So we got 2 out of 3 projections that has SGA going under 5.5 boards. Now we can look at PropStatCash and kind of get an idea based on his season hit rates at 5.5 rebounds, how many times he's actually gone over this number. I mean, if you take a look here at the last like 10 games or so for SGA, he really hasn't been rebounding the basketball all that well. In fact, he's only gone over 5.5 rebounds in 3 out of the last 10 games. Which means he's got a 70% hit rate over the last 10 of staying under 6 boards. Now you could also look at head-to-head matchups using PropStatCash. And in this case, when we do that, you get a collection of games, both from last season and this season. So a total of, 6 games? He's only gone over once in 6 games. This season alone, he's 1 for 2, 50% hit rate. He had 2 rebounds one time. He had 7 rebounds in their most recent matchup. But overall, going back to last season, for the most part, he has gone under versus Golden State more than he's gone over. So this could be an interesting play. What do you guys think about this one? SGA under 5.5 rebounds versus Golden State. Like I said, he's really cooled off in terms of rebounding the ball. I don't know why that is. But for some reason, he's just not hitting the glass like he was hitting the glass earlier in the season. Like I said, last 10 games, only 4.3 rebounds per game. He needs 6 to hit the over, but he's averaging just 4.3. So I'm going to put that one in there. SGA under 5.5 boards. Now, you guys do what you want to do. I'm not here to twist your arm and, make you do anything you don't want to do. It's your money at the end of the day. Bet responsibly, my friends, but I think that one checks out for the most part as a decent look. What else? Samuel says, he's too busy getting buckets. He ain't got no time to rebound. I hear you on that, bro. That might be true, actually. that actually might be true. He's not worried about all those extra little things. He's just worried about putting the ball in the bucket because he is their primary scorer. You're right. Kobe White under 4.5 rebounds. Now, Kobe White's been balling without Zach LaVine. Now, I don't know how well he's been rebounding the ball, but I know that he's been getting buckets. He's been hitting a lot of 3-pointers. But this isn't a point or 3-point make prop. We're looking at rebounds here under 4.5. So let's take a peek here at Kobe White of the Chicago Bulls and see where he's kind of projecting today. Maybe he's going to be an under option like SGA was for rebounds. They're going up against the San Antonio Spurs. And the first projection we have here is 4.1. 4.1 rebounds. Now, Dion says he rebounded well in the last game. Well, the last game was the last game. We got to look at everything in a vacuum. The matchup tonight. It's fun to look at last 5, last 10 and see how well, if a player's been hitting something consistently or not. We'll look at that for sure. But as far as the matchup goes, this projection model thinks he's going to be somewhere closer to 4 rebounds versus 5 rebounds. And I mean, when you kind of consider the player personnel for the San Antonio Spurs, they got some big boys, right? Victor Wembanyama's out there. Zach Collins is going to be out there. I don't think either one of those guys are out tonight for San Antonio. there's going to be some trees out there, some big bodies to contend with these rebounds. Yeah, Zach Collins, Victor Wembanyama, Keldon Johnson's a strong rebounder. Devin Vassell, Seti Osman for San Antonio. So Kobe White might find it hard to pull in some of these rebounds, maybe. So the first projection has him going under. Let's check a second projection here for Kobe White. Second projection, RotoWire in this case, 4.1 rebounds. Again, closer to 4 than 5 boards. I mean, it's not like he's projected for like 5.5, where we would be a little bit worried about him going way over 4.5. He's projected closer to 4. So 2 different projection models have him going under. Third projection model, again, this is number 5, 4.2 rebounds. So all of them have Kobe White around that 4.1 to 4.2 rebound number, which is a far cry from the 5 or more that would hurt us if we decide to take the under here for Kobe White. Now, here's what you can do with something like Props.cash. You come over here, you type in Kobe White's name, right? And we're looking at Russo with Torrey Craig and with the rest of the Chicago Bulls starters. So we come over here, click Vucevic with Patrick Williams with DeMar DeRozan with, all right? And then you're left with basically 3 games. So when we look at this 3-game game log here, Kobe White's just been going insane. So this accounts for all those players being in, Zach LaVine being out. He's pulled in 9 boards against some pretty tough teams. New Orleans, namely, being the tough one. But how do you explain the night and day difference? He goes against OKC, has 1 rebound. Then he goes against New Orleans and Charlotte and has 9 rebounds. I mean, it's boom or bust, I guess, for Kobe White. I really don't know. As far as the matchup goes, San Antonio giving up about 45 rebounds per game this season, which is 24th. So it is kind of a plus matchup for Kobe White against the San Antonio Spurs when it comes to rebounds. So, yeah, we might want to avoid this one. I know what the projection models are saying. I know that the juice is coming in on the under for Kobe White. Maybe they just think that, hey, him getting 9 rebounds per game is not sustainable. And they're probably right. He's probably not a 9 rebound per game average type of guy. I mean, I think that 9 is going to have to come down at some point. I mean, he's putting up power forward rebounding numbers at 9 boards per game. He's out rebounding a lot of the bigs in the league right now. I don't think he's going to sustain that forever. Do you agree or disagree? I don't think Kobe White's going to go on to average 9 rebounds per game for the rest of the season. I think that's going to have to come down at some point. Anyway, going up against San Antonio, we're just looking at the last 7 games here. Last 7 games, San Antonio versus point guards. They're giving up about 6.6 rebounds per game, which kind of puts them like middle of the pack. Not the most giving team, but obviously not the most stingy when it comes to allowing point guards to hit the glass against them. So this one's kind of like a, I don't know, what should we do with this, with Kobe White at 4.5 rebounds? Do we pray for his downfall tonight? Do we think that he's going to come plummeting back down closer to what he did against OKC where he had just 1 rebound? Or do we think he's going to have another 6, 7, 8, 9 rebound type of game in what looks like kind of a squishy matchup against the San Antonio Spurs? Leave it alone. I like the way you think. I think I might agree with Miguel on this one. I think maybe we just leave it alone, but my gut instinct, my intuition is like Kobe White's not going to get 9 rebounds. But then again, he only needs 5 rebounds to hit the over. So even if you sliced off 4 rebounds from what he's done over the last 2 games, take away 4 boards and he still, would end up with 5. So it is a little bit of a scary proposition. So I'll leave it alone. I won't touch that one. Anything else popping up here on the optimizer? Here's one that's been a good play. Steph Curry under assists. Anytime Chris Paul's active, Steph Curry is basically a bona fide shooting guard. Doesn't get the assists like he does when Chris Paul's out of the lineup. When Chris Paul's in, Curry doesn't get a whole lot of dimes. He's mostly catching and shooting. Coming off screens, catch and shoot. Now, if they close out on him, he'll be forced to pass from time to time. He might get some assists, but 5 or more assists have not come easily for Steph Curry as long as Chris Paul's in the lineup. So let's look at this one real quick. Ooh, someone's saying, D is saying Steph Curry over 4.5 assists. All right. Hey, let's look at it. He did go on a nice little spree here of dropping dimes, but I think Chris Paul was out for a lot of those games. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the props.cash tool. Here's games without Gary Payton, because Gary Payton's going to be out. Games with Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson. They don't have Chris Paul on here, though. Ooh, well, that makes things tricky. Anyway, he's got only one game in his game log. This was from, 2 nights ago against Portland? They don't let me... I'm surprised they don't have CP3 listed here. Let me just double check, but I think Chris Paul's playing, right? Yeah, he's playing. He's playing off the bench, but he's playing. Draymond's healthy. Obviously, Draymond's kind of like the quarterback for the team a lot of the times. He gets a lot of assists. Kind of a point forward, his role with the Warriors. But yeah, I mean, when you kind of add in and take away some of those players, right, you're only left with one game. And it was the last game that he played. And he only had 1 assist against Portland in that one. Let's run some projections on Mr. Goat Curry real quick. Curry's projected for 4.7 assists. This is over here on Fantasy Labs. 4.7, just a smidge touch higher than where he's at 4.5 over on PrizePicks. Take a look at where he's at on RotoWire. I actually don't see him up here. Let me refresh. They're always updating the PrizePicks board. All right, we got it refreshed. He's at 4.6 projected assists in this one versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. So 2 projections. Both projections have him going slightly higher than 4.5 assists. Let's run another one. Why not? Another projection for Steph Curry, not Seth Curry, Steph Curry. 5.5 assists. So there's 3 different projections for Curry. All 3 of them have him going for a little bit more than 4.5 assists, as high as 5.5 assists. So I'm going to leave that one alone. Good call. For those that said leave it alone, I'm going to leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. I think you're right. It's projecting too well today. How do we feel about Tyrese Maxey under 30.5 points and rebounds going up against the Hawks? Tyrese Maxey under 30.5. This one has a 53.7% chance of hitting for us. And if you take a look at his line on some of these other sports books, right? FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, BetOnline, Fliff, they have all got him at 29.5. PrizePicks is sitting up there at 30.5. So they're a point higher than some of these other sites and books. That's what we call value, guys. When you find a prop, everywhere else on the market has them at one number, but then you see them at a different number on your site of choice, in this case, PrizePicks. That's kind of what you call identifying and finding value. So maybe Tyrese Maxey is just a touch too high at 30.5. It seems like the lines makers on all these other sports books agree, and so they've lowered him down to 29.5. So let's run some numbers here on Tyrese Maxey. This one will probably get bumped more often than not. You'll see PrizePicks sort of jump in line with all the other sports books and sites. But I like to look at the projections anyway, just to kind of get an idea how these other models are lining up on Tyrese Maxey. So this first projection has him at 31.8 points and rebounds. Now, to your point, some of you guys are saying that this could potentially turn into a blowout situation. You're right. You are right. It could turn into a blowout without Trae Young. I mean, that leaves him with what? DeJounte Murray and who? Bogdanovich might start. Sadiq Bey, Clint Capella. I mean, is that a lineup that's going to be able to compete with the Philadelphia 76ers? I don't know. I could see Philadelphia blowing them out at home in Philly. But anyway, first projection has him at 31.8 points and rebounds. Let's just see where he stacks up on some of these other sites. Again, got to keep refreshing your projection tools. If you're using projections change throughout the day, much like the lines change on the sports books throughout the day. As information and news hits, The projections will change. 29.7 points and rebounds for Tyrese Maxey on RotoWire. So you got one projected over on Fantasy Labs, one projected under on RotoWire. Let's take it to a third projection to break this little tie that we got going on here. So Number Fire's got him at 25 points plus a nice little 3.7 rebounds, which brings him to 28.7 points and rebounds. So gang, 2 out of 3 projection models have him going for less than 30.5 points and rebounds. And maybe he gets the DeJounte Murray defense tonight. I mean, that's what I would do if I was Atlanta. I'd throw DeJounte Murray on Tyrese Maxey to try to slow him down. And if that happens, then you could see a big game for Tobias Harris. You could see a big game for, obviously, Joel Embiid. And you might just see some of those other role players for Philadelphia, like your DeAnthony Meltons, your Kelly Oubre's. You know, those guys could have pretty solid games as well. Could be one of them nights where it's just kind of like a team effort. Everybody's pitching in points. Tyrese Maxey's maybe held down just a little bit by that DeJounte Murray defense. So Maxey at 30.5 points and rebounds. You could take the under on him. We'll kick Kobe White out for right now. I'm not mad at these three so far. Again, nothing's guaranteed. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. But based on what we're seeing so far, I think all of these look like solid options for a flex play. I don't know. You know, what do I know? What do I know? I don't know anything. You don't know anything. I don't know anything. Your favorite YouTuber, your favorite expert on Twitter, they don't know anything either. They're all guessing. They're all trying to come up with an informed decision. And look at that, guys. Look at that. Let me hide my camera. Let me get my big head out of the way. Look what just happened. I know you see it. I know you see it. Bam, bam. I know you want some. PrizePicks just bumped Tyrese Maxey down from 30.5 down to 29.5 points and rebounds. I kind of figured it would happen. I called it, right? When all the when all the sports books have Tyrese Maxey at 29.5 points and rebounds, PrizePicks is eventually, inevitably going to jump in line and join the rest of the projections. So there you go. The bump. The bump was inevitable. We knew it was coming. We just didn't know how soon it would happen. But it has happened. So for me now, Tyrese Maxey, you gots to go, brother. We can't play Tyrese Maxey under 29 and at least I can't. I won't. They're watching this video too. I highly doubt that. I think they got a lot more better things to do. I think what's happening here is you got a tool like the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer that's bumping these plays up to the top of the board based on what's happening over on sports books. And those who are subscribed to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer are gobbling up the plays that go to the top of the board. And when all that money comes in on a prop like Tyrese Maxey at 30.5 points and rebounds, PrizePicks has no choice but to turn off the valve and cut us off. They can't let too many people take it under 30.5 points and rebounds. There's too much risk for them, financial risk. And so they don't want to expose themselves to that sort of financial risk, potential profit loss. No, Jim, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people who think that PrizePicks is watching my stream. They also think that PrizePicks is in our Discord lurking, that there's a mole in there, a rat in there. But I can assure you that it's probably because these are your top EV plays on the board and people are betting those plays accordingly. And the money's just forcing PrizePicks' hand. It's forcing them to take action. Yeah, rat, mole, I hear that a lot. Yep. They think that there's some PrizePicks employee that's lurking around in the chats, and you know, as soon as I drop a pick, it's like, oh, it gets bumped a couple minutes later. Well, hey, I mean, it's because of this tool right here. I can't overemphasize why this is an important tool, especially if you're playing on PrizePicks. All right, well, on with our lives, on with our picks. Let's look at some of these super chats. Why Curry is so high is because people are betting the under. I mean, quite simply, you just go out and you look at the sports books, right? Pinnacle, minus 124 for the under on Pinnacle. FanDuel, minus 140 on the under. DraftKings, minus 130 on the under. BetMGM, minus 155 on the under. Caesars, minus 157 on the under. So it's at the top of the list here because people are betting the under out on your favorite sports books. And so what the optimizer does is it removes the juice, removes the vig in this case, and then it gives you true odds of minus 144 of him going under. Mathematically speaking, it is a plus EV play. The way to take this would be for the under. But, then I look at the projection models and I'm like, well, he's projected to go like maybe slightly over, closer to 5 assists. And so for me, I get, a funny feeling about it and I leave it alone. That's it. But that's why it's at the top. So, yeah, Tyrese Maxey got bumped. Absolutely. Got bumped, unfortunately. All right, let's look at some of these super chats, though, because you guys who have super chatted me, y'all the goats. Y'all the goats for real, for real, for real. All right. Check out, got a couple of super chats. Check out Clay plus McDavid combo. Clay Thompson and Connor McDavid combo, because Connor McDavid's going to be getting 4 to 5. I'm guessing that's a shots on goal and like 3-point prop or something like that. Where's that under? Specials possibly. Yeah, exactly. All right. Clay Thompson and Connor McDavid. Appreciate the super chat. And I ain't going to say your name because you're going to get me canceled. We'll just call you KG in Paris. Yeah, we ain't gonna say your name, brother, because you're gonna get my ass in trouble. KG in Paris. Thank you for the super chat. Y'all crazy. Anyway, Clay Thompson plus Connor McDavid. 6.5 3-point makes and shots on goal. I don't really touch these props a whole lot, though. But our guy in Paris likes it. He thinks Connor McDavid's going to go for how many? 4 to 5 shots on goal? Damn, you might be right. Let's take a look at Clay Thompson and Connor McDavid. We got some projections for these two right here on RotoWire, thankfully. McDavid, shots on goal projections 3.42. Clay Thompson, 3-point makes projection. Where is he at? Do we have one? I don't think we have one. Fishy. I don't see a Clay Thompson 3-point make projection here. Hold up, though. Let me look again. Nope. They don't have Clay Thompson's 3-point makes all on their own. They only have it available in this combo. So let me do something here. Let's go here. Where are we at? Got so many pages, so many projections, so many tools, so little time. Clay Thompson, 3-point makes. He's projected for 2.6 3-point makes. So what did we say? 3-point something for Connor McDavid. So that's like 5 less than 6 combined shots on goal and 3-point makes. So as far as projections go, I mean, it's not projecting for more than 6.5. Like I said, I don't get into these a whole lot, these combos, these multi-sport or cross-sport combos. Do you guys like these? Let me know in the live chat. Do you guys play a lot of these combos? These are 3-point makes for Clay Thompson and shots on goal for Connor McDavid. I don't know. I mean, I don't like messing with these. These always seem kind of trappy, baity to me, traps, bait. Yeah, they're tricky. Yeah. I feel like they're handcrafted by the PrizePicks Corporation. They put 2 really good, well-known people together from different sports, and they know that sports bettors like to take the overs more than they do the unders. They're like, well, damn, Clay Thompson is that guy when he shoots them threes. Maybe Clay's coming off a really good game when it comes to 3-point makes, and they're kind of riding on that recency bias. And they know Connor McDavid's one of the GOATs, top 5 in the NHL, right? And so they throw these two jokers together and they hope that people are just going to bet the over. I mean, that's how I look at them. I look at them as potential traps. It ain't projecting well, though. I mean, that's what I could tell you. So I'm gonna stay out. I'm gonna stay out of this one. If you take it, God bless you. I hope it hits for you for the over, but I'm gonna just leave it alone. There ain't nothing special about it, all right? That's like, you know, hey, today's lunch special is a shit sandwich. But it's on sale. Yeah, but it's still a shit sandwich. Yeah, I know, but it's on sale. The shit sandwich is it's on sale today. It's part of our lunch special. No, I'm good, bro. I don't need a shit sandwich, all right? I want the pulled pork sandwich. I don't want the shit sandwich. I'll pay more for the good stuff. I'm cool. Y'all keep the shit sandwiches. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these guys do end up going over. Hell, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just telling you. These types of things, they give me the heebie-jeebies. They make me feel weird. I don't like them. I don't want to touch them. I'd rather just go with a single player and a single prop, not a combo. Yeah, Bojan got bumped. That's what happens. I mean, y'all saw him up here on the optimizer, so yeah. He's going to get bumped. That value doesn't last forever. PrizePicks will take stuff down. My man M. Lido Sauce 173 with the super chat. He says, I just wanted to send some love to my amigo CJ. Thank you for all that you do for everyone. I'm very blessed to be a part of this dope community. I love you, amigo. Eyes on the prize, gang. All right. Hey, I appreciate the super chat. I'm glad that you're rocking with us as well. Thank you for being here. Brandon, you had sent a super chat earlier, but I don't think there was like an actual message attached to it. I will get to your Franz Wagner one here though momentarily. Chris Raptor's liking some Devin Booker under PRA and Desmond Bain under PRA and Luka over point. So let's look at those three. Appreciate the super chat, Mr. Raptor. You are the man. Appreciate that. Let's take a look at Devin Booker under PRA versus Sacramento. A little bit scary, a little bit sketchy without Durant, without Grayson Allen. We'll look at it, though. Desmond Bain under PRA, 35.5. He's going up against Minnesota. Minnesota's been very good defensively, so this could be a thing. Absolutely could be a thing. Luka Doncic for more than points. All right. So we got under this fella, under that fella, and we got over on that fella. So we got 3 picks to kind of take a look at. Let's dissect these. Let's look at these together here. Starting off with Devin Booker and where he's sitting on the optimizer right now. Is it a plus EV play, right? Because if you're playing on PrizePicks, you should only be playing plus EV plays. In other words, plays where the odds are in your favor, that you're going with the tide and not against it. We don't want to go against the grain. That's bad for business. We want to go with the grain. All right. So take a look at this first one here. It's Devin Booker. Now, is Devin Booker a plus EV play to go under? Not really. But it's closer to a coin flip. Now, if you're playing on a sports book, different situation. You could get a better payout on a sports book. You could get a better payout on somewhere like Sleeper or Hot Streak, where they have dynamic payout odds. But on PrizePicks, it doesn't make a lot of sense to play Devin Booker for under 47.5 points, rebounds, and assists because they're a fixed payout format. In other words, taking minus EV plays does not pay out any better than taking plus EV plays. So you might as well just play the plus EV plays on PrizePicks, if I'm making any sense. So this one kind of a coin flip from an EV standpoint. 50.2% chance that he goes over, which means there's about a 49.7 or 8% chance that he goes under. Pull out your favorite quarter and flip that sucker and make a decision is essentially what they're saying based on the odds. So let's look at some projections though on Devin Booker. I just kind of want to see where Book's at tonight in terms of projections, because now you got me curious here. He's projected for 46.4 PRA. So that is an under projection. Again, if you're playing on a sports book, maybe you go with these projections and you take Devin Booker for less on his PRA. there's really no benefit or incentive to do so on PrizePicks. 46.39 PRA over on RotoWire. So yeah, I mean, get him on a sports book if you can. Get him on a site like Better or Sleeper or Hot Streak, where you can get a bigger payout for taking a risk, but you don't get any benefit or anything for doing so on PrizePicks. So let's say that he's not the best PrizePicks play, okay? He is projected under tonight, though, against Sacramento, but not a good PrizePicks play. Let's look at Desmond Bane for this next one. 35.5 PRA, points, rebounds, and assists for Bane. Bane just came off of a monster game, but Bane's been kind of an under option more than an over option, I want to say. Like, played a lot of Bane unders. I haven't really played a lot of Bane overs. Let's take a look at this one. Is it a plus EV play? It is. In fact, 51.5% chance based on the odds pulled from the sportsbook that Bane is going to go under 36 points, rebounds, and assists. Bryce, the reasoning behind any of the picks is real simple. I follow a real simple formula. Is it a plus EV play? Yay or nay? In this case, for Nurkic, it is a plus EV play. Is it projecting well? And in this case, yes, Nurkic is projecting well on multiple projection models. And then there's some opportunity with Kevin Durant being out, with Grayson Allen being out. Maybe a couple more rebounds come Nurkic's way. I don't know. Maybe a couple of extra assists come Nurkic's way. I don't know. Nobody knows. All right, we're just guessing. But those are pretty much the criteria that I look for. Is it a plus EV play? And is it projecting well on a couple of different projection models? So that's why Nurkic is what he is. That's why we have him in there. All right, but back to Bane. Bane is a plus EV play, not the best plus EV play in the world under PRA, but it is a plus EV play. So let's run some projections on Desmond Bane. First projection has him at 36.2. 36.2 is higher than 35.5. So he is projecting in the wrong direction in this case. We were hoping that he would be projecting for 35 or less points, rebounds, and assists, but this first projection has him at 36.2, which is not good. Not what I want to see personally. Let's check a second projection, though. This one's a lot better, 33.9 projected points, rebounds, and assists. So we got one over, one under projection. Let's run a third projection and see if we could break this little tie here. And in this case, this is number fire once again. Taking a look here, 22.4 points for Bane, plus another 5.2 rebounds and a 5.6 assist projection brings him to a grand total of 33.2 points, rebounds, and assists, putting him slightly, ever so slightly under his line of 35.5. So 2 out of the 3 projections on Desmond Bane do have him going under. Like I said, Minnesota has been a staunch defense this season. They have been a tough defensive team. Let's take a look at Bane's PRA number at 35.5. He has actually gone under more than he's gone over here. He's gone under in 11 out of 20 games. 55% hit rate, not the greatest hit rate in the world, but if you kind of just isolate the last 10 games specifically, pretty good hit rates for the under. And yes, he did just pop off for 63 points, rebounds, and assists, but that was against Detroit. Guys, Detroit and Minnesota, completely polar opposites when it comes to defense. Minnesota, I mean, you see this little bar here, Minnesota defense allowed. What Minnesota allows as a defense, according to Props.Cash here. They rank first in points, meaning no team's giving up fewer points. 6th in rebounds, meaning there's only 5 teams giving up fewer rebounds per game. And 4th in assists, there's only 3 teams giving up fewer assists per game to opposing teams. I mean, it's red across the board except for offensive rebounds, which is not Desmond Bane's strong suit, right? He's not going to be a strong offensive rebounder. Red, red, red. It's a damn hard matchup for Desmond Bane tonight. Here's what he's done against Minnesota this season. 1 game, 19 PRA in that game. They locked his ass up. Previous 2 games, these were from last season. He had 32 and 32 PRA. We don't, put so much stock into those. But the game from this season where he had 19 points, rebounds, and assists, I think that one looks very enticing. He's 0 for 1 against Minnesota. Didn't even come close to sniffing 36 points, rebounds, and assists. So I like that. He's projected under on 2 out of 3 models. It is a plus EV play for him to go under. I think the recency bias is going to creep into a lot of people's heads. They're going to be like, well, damn, didn't Desmond Bane just go off? Yeah, against Detroit, bruh. Detroit sucks. Detroit's not good defensively. Minnesota, the polar opposite. They're like the best defensive team, one of the best, top 3, top 5. So I'm just putting it out there. Tough matchup for Desmond Bane. I do like that under. I can get on board with that one, Mr. Chris Raptor. And Bane has little arms. I mean, let's just be honest. As James pointed out, Bane's got little arms. And that's something. That's definitely something. Something that could hold him back. Having little arms. Luka Doncic was the last one that Mr. Raptor had on here. 32 points going up against Portland. Obviously, there's going to be some blowout concerns, blowout risk. We get the luxury, however, on PrizePicks of taking first half only. So if you're worried about Luka, if you think that this game's going to turn into a blowout, maybe Luka's not going to get 33 or more points because it's going to be a blowout. Maybe Luka ends up with like a solid 30. And you got some of his other teammates on the squad that are pitching in, and maybe Luka doesn't have to have a major Luka scoring night. I mean, that could happen, right? That could definitely happen. Let's look at some information here on this Doncic play, though. Doncic sitting at 32 points. Is it a plus EV play? It's another one of those ones, man, where it's like not really. Not really. In fact, 50.7% chance, a little bit better than a coin flip's chance that he's going to go under 32 points tonight. Now, the reason he's at 32 on PrizePicks is because PrizePicks probably glanced out there on the sports books. They see him at 31.5 on Pinnacle, FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesars. But then you also have him at 32.5 on a major sports book like DraftKings. So they've kind of split it right down the middle. Instead of putting him at 31.5 or up at 32.5, they said, we're going to take the middle ground here. We're going to put him at 32, exactly 32 points. So that's what they've done. All right. So not the most sexy play in the world from an EV standpoint, right? Projection-wise, 31.1 projected points on Fantasy Labs. Now, Chris, I know you wanted to go under on Luka Doncic's points here. Or over, excuse me. You wanted to go over, but he's projecting under. Here's an even bigger under projection for Luka, 27.7 points on a line of 32. So we got 2 projections for the under on Luka. We'll check a third one just because we're here and we can. And they've got him at 29.7 points, and that's number fire. So they don't think that Luka's going to hit 30. At least a couple of these sites don't have Luka even touching 30 tonight. And to be honest, he probably doesn't need to score 30 or more for them to win. So Luka's been in his bag. Yeah, I mean, there's always risk taking an under on a superstar like Luka Doncic. There's always risk, obviously, with taking the under on somebody who can get buckets like Luka can get buckets. Let's just take a look at his game logs, though. 32 points, right? Over on PrizePicks. How many times has he broken 32? Well, just 9. 9 of 19. So the hit rates aren't as great as you might think. Has he been heating up lately? Absolutely. Last 3 games, he's posted 41, 36, and 40 points. Luka's definitely been in his bag, y'all. He's definitely been getting it done. But overall, if you look at the bigger sample size here, 31.8 points per game, just 9 for 19, covering 32 points this season. Now, he has taken Portland on once already this season. He only had 15 points in that game. I don't know what happened in that one. I mean, he played 36.6 minutes according to Prop.Stat-Cash. 36.6 minutes, so a full run of minutes. Not like he was hurt or limited in any kind of way. But in that 36.6 minutes played, he only managed to get 15 points on the board. So I don't know what happened with Luka. Did he like just not shoot as much? Nah, I mean, he had 19 field goal attempts. He shot 7 for 19 though. So he was putting up shots. The shots just weren't hitting the bottom of the net. He shot 5 threes, missed all 5 of them. 0 for 5 from 3-point in that game. So a poor shooting night for Luka the last time he played Portland. I'm not going to take it though. Not on PrizePicks. And I don't know if I would take it anywhere. At 32.5, I might be enticed to take the under, but at 32, I think I'm going to just leave it alone. But I am rocking with the Bane pick, Mr. Raptor. I like that one. We could leave that one. He could stay. Bane, you're welcome to stay, my friends. 740 plus people watching, 318 likes. I think there's a little opportunity there, guys. I think we got a little bit of an opportunity to run them likes up. Over 700 people watching, just 300 likes. Let's shift that ratio a little bit, shall we? Can we do that? If you enjoy what I've been doing for you recently on the channel, if you enjoy the content that we're doing together here live on YouTube, hey, let me know. Let YouTube know. Like, and if you're not subscribed yet, get subscribed. Turn them notifications on. I'm dropping videos each and every day. We've got an impressive record of what is it? 25 and 6 or something like that right now. I don't know. We've been running up the numbers with the picks. All right. Everyday Fantasy says, this is to say thank you. Whew. $20 super chat from my guy, Don P, Mr. AKA Everyday Fantasy. Thank you, bro. That's huge, man. For you to reach down deep in your pocket and to bless me with a $20 super chat, bro, that's major. Means a lot. I don't get on here expecting anything like this, but when it happens, man, touches your boy. My heart. Let me just clarify. It touches my heart. Doesn't touch me anywhere else but there. Just my heart, I promise. Jalen Williams, 7.5 rebounds and assists is Don P. Everyday Fantasy's play. He's liking the over at 7.5 rebounds and assists. So let's look at that one. Let's look at Jalen Williams. Y'all stop laughing. You guys stop laughing, man. I take this serious. I take what we do here serious, and y'all are laughing. This ain't no time to laugh. All right. Jalen Williams is at 7.5 rebounds and assists. Let's go run him up on the optimizer and see if J-Dub is a plus EV play or nah. The rebounds on their own, 4.5 is a plus EV play for the under. I think we looked at that one and it didn't really check out that well. So what about the rebounds and assists? That is a plus EV play, 51.6% chance that he goes over. 51.6% chance that he goes over 7.5 rebounds and assists. So this is our guy Don P here, who's usually pretty well connected here. He usually gets a pretty good read on some of this stuff. So let's look at the projections here for Jalen Williams. 8.5 is the magic number. So we were liking SGA, right, for under on the rebounds. So if we took the under on SGA's rebounds, and we also took Jalen Williams for over rebounds and assists, that kind of correlates well, right? Those pieces kind of interlock pretty well, right? Under on the SGA rebounds, and then you take the over on like a Jalen Williams rebounds and assists. But yeah, he's projected for a whole rebound and assist higher. So this is looking pretty good. Liking what I'm seeing there. Take a look at the second projection here for Jalen Williams. 8.09 on a line of 7.5. So again, a pretty healthy over projection for Jalen Williams. And then you got him at 4.8 rebounds on number fire, plus 3.7 assists, which brings him up to 8.5. So I don't mind that, man. I think that's a pretty solid look overall. And like I said, it kind of works well with SGA under 5.5 rebounds. Well correlated in this situation. So plus EV play, yes. And projecting well, yes, it is. Cool. Killian Hayes. What about Killian Hayes? Points? You like Killian Hayes to go over points? Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. Why? Why? Tell us why. You tweaking right now. Damn right he's tweaking. Killian Hayes ain't that important. Golly. Hey, Moss, get Life of Clips out of here. Should I get him out of here? Should I throw him to the streets? To the streets? Nah, I ain't gonna do it. He's gonna chill. I got a feeling he's gonna chill, man. He just wanted to get his voice heard, man. We hear you though, but we ain't playing Killian Hayes over on points. The hell I look like playing Killian Hayes over 10.5 points. You play him. Tell me how it goes for you, man. If you get it right, you get it right. He's at 10.5 points on all the sports books. Minus 155 to go under 10.5. Minus 158 to go under 10.5. Those are some pretty damn big odds for him to stay under 11 points. I'm not playing him for more than 10 points. More than 10.5 points. I'm not doing that. That's stupid. Especially on PrizePicks. Why would I do that? When he's juiced to the high heavens for the under at 10.5 points on all sports books. Why on earth would I want to take him for more than 10 points? Please tell me. I need you to explain. Is it his birthday? Is it Killian Hayes bobblehead night? Is Cade Cunningham out? Bojan Bogdanovic out? Jaden Ivey out? I mean, are all these guys out? Like, why are we gassing Killian Hayes for more than 10 points? Or are you just are you a op? You a op, bruh? Are you a op? You here to lead us astray and try to take us down some dark alley and put one in the back of our head? Is that what you're trying to do, bro? Let me know. Because I ain't seeing it with Killian Hayes. Now I'll get right back up here next Friday. Killian Hayes goes over 10 points. I'll eat crow. I'll eat my humble pie. And I'll say, damn, bro, you were right. Literally, against the odds, you were right. Against all odds, you somehow knew Killian Hayes was going to go over 10 points. But right now, bro, I cannot take Killian Hayes over 10.5 points. Not when he is juiced so heavily for the under at 10.5. I can't do it. I can't do it, bro. So you got to make it make sense, man. Make it make sense, because it ain't making sense. I mean, even at 10 points right now, mathematically speaking, they're saying take the under at 10 points, and you're wanting to go over at 10.5? Why? How? And where the hell did he go? Where is this guy that was gassing Killian Hayes up? He's lost now. Y'all seen him? After he got his rocks off about Killian Hayes, he disappeared on us, man. He did a little drive-by. Literally shot up the place and left. Now he's quiet. Where the hell did he go? Was that a PrizePicks employee? That was a Y'all are saying this dude worked for PrizePicks? No, come on. That was a PrizePicks employee? Damn. Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. We can't have him in here telling us to play Killian Hayes over points. He literally disappeared. I'm looking for him. What was his name? Like, he gone. Never to be heard from again. He wanted to shit on us with Killian Hayes and then dip, I guess. He ain't here. I didn't block him. I didn't mute him. I don't know. Don't take Killian Hayes over points, please. There's so many other options out there that, that you could take. Don't take that one. Dog, I just had to see what it was all about, because man went on he spazzed. He spazzed on the live chat. He literally spammed Killian Hayes over points like he had something. Like, he must be Killian Hayes' cousin or something. That's what it is. He's probably related to Killian Hayes. All right, T Mill with the super chat. Jabari Smith, points and rebounds. Let's move on. I am not taking no Killian Hayes for nothing over. Nothing over for Killian Hayes today. I'll be the first, like I said, to come up here and admit, hey, we were wrong. We were wrong. The projections were wrong. The odds were wrong. I'll come up here and say that next Friday, if we're wrong. Jabari Smith, points and rebounds under 20.5 is the plus EV move. 50.5% chance. Damn, got some Derek White dick riders. Excuse me, pause. I'm sorry for that. Didn't mean to offend anybody. Y'all are making me act out of character. I apologize. Stay off that man's pipe. Derek White just had a kid. He ain't interested in you riding him. Jabari Smith, points and rebounds. See, I can have fun with you guys. I can have fun with you guys on the live streams. I can't have fun with you guys in the pre-recorded videos, but we can have fun. Y'all stay off that man's meat, glazing him up like a damn donut. Take your Derek White. I don't know what you want him for. You just keep putting his name in the chat. You ain't saying nothing of any substance or value. You're just Derek White, Derek White, Derek White. You guys are bots. All right. If you're thinking about taking Jabari Smith points and rebounds, you're going to want to take him under because of 50.5% chance that he's going to go under according to the odds. Again, this is just reflecting what the sportsbook action is looking like for Jabari Smith Jr. You got me saying Derek White now, damn it. Jabari Smith Jr. is a plus EV play for the under on the points and rebounds. All right, so let's go run this projection here for Jabari Smith. Got me literally saying Derek White's name now. Call out my name. No, we can't do that. Can't do that. All right, 22.6 points and rebounds for Jabari Smith. That's an over projection. So again, the odds are slightly on the under, but he's projected to go over T-Mill. T-Mill, you didn't say if you wanted to take the over or the under on Jabari Smith, so I'm not really sure which direction you're looking to go. It looks like XZen is saying Jabari PR over. Yeah, he's projected over. So is it a plus EV play? No. You'd be better off taking this type of pick out on a sports book, out on a sleeper, out on a hot streak. I would take it there before I would take it on PrizePicks. But here's a projection for Jabari Smith against Denver tonight of 23.6 points and rebounds. So if you want to take the over because it is projecting well. Just don't take it on PrizePicks. Take it on another site. If you have another app at your disposal, take it over there. Or if you have a sports book at your disposal, take it over there. All right, the next play was Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner, PRA. Wagner been balling. Him and Banchero. Nice little dynamic duo for the Orlando Magic. Franz is sitting at what? 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's going up against Detroit. And the super chat came through from Brandon. Brandon, thank you for the super chat. He's liking Franz Wagner for over on his points, rebounds, and assists. So let's take a peek at this one real quick. We'll update the optimizer, make sure that the latest odds and juice is being pulled in here. And when we do so, take a look. Wagner is a plus EV play for the over on fantasy score. So my fantasy score peeps, you could absolutely go over on Franz Wagner fantasy score if you feel so inclined. Based on what we're seeing on the different sports books for Franz Wagner, 39.7 up to as high as 41.5 projected fantasy score on these different sports books. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm definitely going to update the bot when I get off of here. I'm going to definitely update the bot. And we're going to have to put like slow-mo on for the spammers. Yeah, we're going to have to do that. Yeah, we're doing it. I'm sorry, y'all. But if you're posting 10 messages in like a span of 30 seconds, guess what? After today, ain't going to happen. That bot's going to kick your ass out. That's what's going to happen. It's cool. Hey, don't say sorry. You done made your bed. Now you got to lay in it. Spammers. Franz Wagner, 50.5% chance to go over 34.5 PRA. It's not as high of a EV play as the fantasy score. So out of the two, I mean, fantasy score looks like the better option. But the PRA, 50.5%. At least you read it, bro. At least you read it. Yeah, I read it. I read it. I read it. Feel special. I read it, Ryan. Appreciate your apology, though. At least you apologized. That's cool, bro. So let's go look at some projections on Franz Wagner. Wagner, fantasy score, looks like the better move, but if you want to go PRA, you could go that route. Wagner's projected for 34.6 points, rebounds, and assists. Here's what's concerning. FanDuel's got Franz Wagner at 33.5 PRA, a whole point, rebound, and assist lower. So if you're wanting to take the over at 34.5, gives me a little bit of cause for concern that one of the sports books actually has him a whole PRA lower. If he gets lowered down to 33.5 PRA, then I kind of like him to go over. But in this case, it's a little sketchy, a little dicey right now. Looking at a second projection for Franz. Franz is at 31.2 points, rebounds, and assists. And that's over on RotoWire, excuse me. So some weird like projections and stuff going on with Franz Wagner. I think for PrizePicks purposes, I would have to probably leave him alone. We talked about the fantasy score at 39.5. Let's look at the projections for the fantasy score real quick. Fantasy score projection. Let's see. Let's refresh. Maybe they've got one up for him now. Let me see. Yeah, his fantasy score projection is actually at 38.1 on RotoWire, which is a little bit on the low side. So I don't know if it's going to be Franz Wagner's night. Now, Fantasy Labs, they love them some Franz Wagner fantasy score. They got him at 42.5 FanDuel points or fantasy points in this case. So that could be an option for you. He is projected quite highly on Fantasy Labs at 42.51. Matchup-wise, Franz Wagner against the Detroit Pistons. As we mentioned, Detroit's not very good defensively. They really haven't been all season. Wagner's going to be your small forward. When you take a look at the last 7 games and how many fantasy points per game that Detroit's given up to opposing small forwards, they have either faced some bad small forwards recently, or they've just been really good defensively against small forwards over the last 7 games. One of those two things. Because they're giving up about 38 fantasy points per game, and you kind of look at where that ranks over the last 7 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th fewest fantasy points per game to small forwards. So either they've faced some bad small forwards, or they've just been pretty good over the last 7 games. But yeah, 38.8. So they're tough, I guess, against opposing small forwards. So I don't know that I love Franz. I don't know if I love that. I'm going to leave that one alone. I think he's going to go to the streets. See here. AD with the super chat. What's your top 2 props for tonight? Love the channel. Thank you, AD, first of all, for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words. Top 2 props. It's always a tough question. It's like asking me who my, favorite kids are, favorite songs, or favorite movies, or I don't know. They all hold a special place in my heart. What do I have here? Well, here's some ones that I posted earlier today. I don't know if any of these have moved or not. I posted these for our Dub Club members. We had Killian Hayes under 10.5 points. Somehow he got bumped down to 10. It's like we made the right move or something. I don't know. Killian Hayes under 10.5 points. He's now at 10 points. RJ Barrett had for more than 3.5 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns for more than 8.5 rebounds. Nick Claxton for more than 21.5 points and rebounds. Kyle Lowry for more than 7.5 rebounds and assists. And we had Dennis Schroeder for more than 9.5 rebounds and assists. I don't know if any of these have moved. This was literally placed at 4:40 a.m. this morning. So there's a good chance that a lot of these have moved, have been bumped up, bumped down, taken down. I don't know. And then we had the ones from this morning's video. I had Drew Holiday under 17.5 points and assists, as long as Kristaps Porzingis isn't on a minutes restriction or limit of any kind. Killian Hayes under 3.5. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. I made a mistake. I had Killian Hayes going for more than 3.5 rebounds. Uh-oh. Damn it. That was supposed to be under. Killian Hayes was supposed to be under 3.5 rebounds. Fuck. Well, My mistake. Julius Randle for more than 8.5 rebounds. So I had Randle over rebounds, Randle over rebounds and assists. Damn it. I hate when I do that. Fat fingered it, messed it up. But Killian Hayes under 3.5 rebounds. Well, shit. I might as well take him now since I accidentally took him over earlier, right? Let's do that. There you go. We throw him in there too. Under 3.5 rebounds. Yes, we're going to hedge. Absolutely. We got to hedge at this point. Got to hedge it at this point. I don't know how I did that, though. Well, don't copy me. Take the under on Killian Hayes, 3.5 rebounds. But yeah, we'll hedge it. We'll hedge it. See what happens. So there we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks. 5 picks. These are the ones that we've settled on so far. How did I do that? I hate when I do that shit. Fat fingered the freaking Killian Hayes rebounds. Well, like I said, we talked about him in today's video for an under at 3.5 boards. Somehow I managed to put him for over 3.5 boards. I guess that's what happens when you're making entries at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't have your bearings. So, I don't know. Anyway. There you go. All of those bumped, C-Flex? Well, hot damn, buddy. Hot damn. Anyway. Yeah, Hayes under 3.5 rebounds. What else? We need one more pick. Yeah, half asleep, something like that. Half asleep. Apologize to what kid? He was taking the points over on Killian Hayes. He wasn't taking the rebounds. He was taking the points. We'll see what happens. Maybe there's an apology next Friday. We'll see what happens. But he was talking about the points over for Killian Hayes. He wasn't talking about rebounds. Donovan Mitchell under 28.5. Our guy, KG in Paris, we'll call you KG in Paris, was liking Donovan Mitchell under 28.5 points. Is that what that is? Donovan Mitchell against Miami tonight. You know, I thought Donovan Mitchell was going to go under on points against Orlando, who's a tough defensive team, and I think he ended up going over in his last game, didn't he? He was smoking us. Yeah, he went for 35 against Orlando. So, crazy. Donovan Mitchell killed us. Let's take a look at Donovan Mitchell today, though. That was yesterday, or last game. Let's look at where he's at today. Donovan Mitchell's points at 28.5. Is it a plus EV play for the under? It is. About a 51% chance that he stays under today. So 28 or fewer points. You're already starting to see some sports books that have Donovan Mitchell at 27.5 points. He's at 27.5 on a couple of different sites here. Bet Online has him at 27.5. FanDuel has him at 27.5. So this might be sort of a preemptive move where you're going to see other sports books take him down to 27.5 from 28.5. So right now, yes, it is a plus EV play at 28.5 points to go under. Is Just Troy, is Mark Williams playing tonight? Has he been ruled in yet officially? He's questionable dealing with a back injury. I wasn't sure about Mark Williams. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell under 28.5 points. You're seeing some books already offer him at 27.5 points. So that could be something that you see get bumped down. Taking a look at Donovan Mitchell projections for the Spider. 27.6. The line's 28.5. So first projection for Mitchell is less than 28.5. Take a look at a second projection for Mitchell. 25.82 points on a line of 28.5. Again, he's at 27.5 points on some of the other books right now. So that's huge. Anytime you see some of those books with a little bit of a line discrepancy like that, you should definitely look into it a little bit more. And you're even seeing Donovan Mitchell down at 26.1 points today, and that's over on Number Fire. So you got 3 different projection sites, all have Mitchell under 28.5. You've got other big-time sports books like FanDuel. FanDuel has him at 27.5 already. And these lines makers get paid big moolah to set as sharp of a line as possible. So if FanDuel sees him at 27.5. They think that 27 to 28 points is a potential landing spot for Donovan Mitchell when it comes to scoring tonight. So is it the most plus EV play? No, it's not the most plus EV play, but this might be one where you can kind of get in early before the line gets bumped down to 27.5 or gets bumped down to 28. You're starting to see the sports books move Donovan Mitchell down a whole point. So I don't hate that. Screen is blurry. That's probably due to a bad internet connection. You might want to like refresh your browser or like close the app and get on Wi-Fi or I don't know, something. It's probably because your internet connection's not good. Not good. But here's what we have so far. Somebody just asked, what do we have so far? Here's what we got. Nurk over 13.5 rebounds and assists. SGA under 5.5 boards. Desmond Bane under 35.5 PRA. Jalen Williams over 7.5 rebounds and assists. Killian Hayes under 3.5 rebounds because I'm a dork. And somehow I ended up putting him over 3.5 rebounds earlier. So now we're hedging, I guess. I wanted Killian Hayes under 3.5 the whole time. Somehow I didn't do that. So hopefully you did. And then Donovan Mitchell under 28.5 points. And if you want to make this your protected play, you just check mark the box here. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in there. I'm going to throw it in there. What can you put on this? 20 bucks, I think, is the max. Before anything else moves, let's just get something locked in. It's protected. So if these go 0 for 6, we'll get our $20 back tomorrow as a promo credit. All right. Somehow I had 25 in promo in my account. I don't know. Did you guys get any promo credits today? Somehow I had 2 protected plays. Actually, let's do that. Let me go back to the promotions tab. I still can't get over that they got this grown man's titties in the app right here. That they did not like make this dude put on a t-shirt or anything, a bra, none of that before they took his picture and put it in here on the app. I still can't get over it, but I'm going to opt in. I've got a second protected play for $5. All right. So we got our first protected play, our Flex Friday protected play for $20. I got a second one somehow. I don't know. They must like me, but $5. So we can, if we find anything else here, we can make a second protected play. Let's get to the rest of these super chats. D'Angelo's liking Kyle Lowry for more on his points. Let's look at him real quick. BBL. In this case, that stands for Big Booty Lowry, over on points. Also liking some Josh Giddey points against Golden State for the over. For the over. All right. And D'Angelo's got a third pick, which was Jakob Poeltl over 11.5 points versus Charlotte. I asked earlier, but is Mark Williams in or out? Do you guys know? Has there been any updates on Mark Williams' status? He's still listed as questionable. I like Poeltl more if Williams is out. I do like that if Williams is out. But right now we don't know if he's in or out. We saw Vucevic have a pretty good game against Nick Richards of the Charlotte Hornets in that last game. I'm not saying that Poeltl's the same type of scoring big that Vucevic is, but Poeltl does have a nice little touch around the basket. And if he's going to get Nick Richards instead of Mark Williams, so then, hey, that's the easier matchup, right? Mark Williams, pretty good, long defensive minded center, shot blocker. So I don't like the matchup quite as much unless Mark Williams is out. If it's Nick Richards versus Poeltl, we take that. We take that. But let's look at some of these. All right, so you had 3 different options in there. Let's start with my guy, BBL. Kyle Lowry, I took the over on his rebounds and assists earlier. That one didn't get bumped. Some of y'all said that all those picks got bumped. They didn't all get bumped. Lowry's still available at 7.5 rebounds and assists if you wanted to take the over on that. That is, in fact, the best or most plus EV play that you can take for Kyle Lowry. Taking a look at his points, though, that's the one that D'Angelo was liking. At 8.5 points, he really is juiced up for the over, which is why PrizePicks has went ahead and gave him the bump treatment from 8.5 to 9. So minus 147 to go over 8.5, minus 145 to go over 8.5. That's pretty darn good juice for Lowry to cover 8.5 points. So you're getting him at 9 on PrizePicks. If you can get him at 8.5 somewhere, then you should probably run. Don't walk. Go take the over for 8.5. At 9, there's a chance that it could tie, could push. And in that case, it would revert your entry down. If he lands on 9 points, your 6 becomes a 5 pick. Your 5 pick becomes a 4, and so on and so forth. So that play is a plus EV play for more than 9 points right now. But of course, the better line would be 8.5. You can find it at 8.5 somewhere. He's projected for 9.4, so even better. You guys, who can get it at 8.5, the 9.4 projected points is sweet. Taking a look at the second projection for Lowry, 9.45 projected points. So, he's not projected for like 10 plus points on a lot of these models from what we're seeing. But the 8.5 would be the number to get it at if you can get it at 8.5. But nonetheless, he is projected for right around 9 points, and it is very, very much juiced up for the 8.5. So you kind of expect him to have at least 9 tonight. So I don't hate that. What was the other one? Josh Giddey over 10.5 and Pirtle over 11.5. I'd wait and see on Pirtle. If Mark Williams is out, then I think this is a better matchup for Jakob Pirtle. But let's look at Giddey first and foremost. 10.5 points tonight going up against the Dubs, Golden State Warriors. As far as this being a plus EV play, not really, but kind of 50.2% chance that he goes over at 10.5. So just a baby plus EV play, slightly plus EV for the over at 10.5. Not the greatest plus EV play in the world. If you wanted to take a more plus EV play for Giddey, I guess 51.7% chance that he's going to go under points and rebounds. But a lot of Josh Giddey's lines today look to be kind of super sharp, or people just aren't betting on Giddey for whatever reason. Not seeing a lot of juice for the overs or the unders in this case for Giddey. Just kind of a middling EV neutral type of guy today. But anyway, taking a look at some projections. Giddey is projected for 12.2 points, which puts him well over 10.5. It's probably best to take the over on Giddey's points on a sports book or on an app that rewards you for taking plays that aren't necessarily plus EV. Again, that's like Sleeper, that's like Hot Streak, one of those style apps. Giddey here is projected for 11 points on a line of 10.5. So that is 2 projected overs for Giddey. And then taking a look at where he's at on Numberfire. Numberfire's got him at 11.1. So most of the projections are on the over for Giddey. I think it's a fine play, but probably not one that you should be taking on PrizePicks. Pirtle, as of right now, at a little bit after 2 o'clock, Jakob Pirtle's projected for 51.2% chance of actually going under. Now, this could flip. If Mark Williams is ruled out and it's Nick Richards versus Jakob Pirtle, you might see the line start to shift over instead of under. But as of right now, it's an under. So I would not advise this as a pick on PrizePicks. Not for the over at 11.5 on PrizePicks. I wouldn't do that. But for those wondering what the projections are looking like, 11.8, just a little bit over 11.5. Second projection for Pirtle, 11.7. So a lot of the projections are really extra sharp today. It's tight, man, tight. I'd leave Pirtle alone. Maybe you play the over if Mark Williams is out, but I don't think it makes for a PrizePicks play. But we can leave Lowry in there for right now till something better comes along. Val Savage with the super chat. He says, just pulled up. How about Harden over 16.5 points? How about Fred VanVleet over 16.5 points? How about, I guess that's it. Sorry if you've spoken on them. No, we haven't. We haven't talked to any Harden. We haven't talked any Fred VanVleet yet. Just got on my lunch break. Salute to you. Yes, Savage is his real last name, for those wondering. Love that name. I should change my last name to Savage. I want to be related to 21. I want to be related to Macho Man Randy. And I want to be related to Fred. And I want to be related to Val Savage. All the Savages. We could be one big Savage family. I'll consider it. Curry's a pretty cool last name too, but Savage, I mean, come on. There's levels. There's levels to this. And I think Savage is on a higher level. James Harden at 16.5 points. Val Savage says he's liking the over. He's also liking the over on Fred VanVleet. So let's take a look at both of these. Starting with James the Beard Harden. Is it a plus EV play? Yeah. Yeah, it is. A little bit. 51% chance that he goes over 16.5. Gonna have to put the user in timeout because he likes Jalen Brunson way too much. See ya. You're just in timeout, though. You're not in the gulag forever. Just temporarily. Temporarily in the gulag till one of your teammates buys you back. All right? 51% chance that he goes over 16.5 points, though. James Harden. So, yes, it is a plus EV play. Let's run some projections on Harden. 16.3 on Fantasy Labs. RotoWire's got him 17. Okay. And then Number Fire's got him at 18.4. So most of the projections are for the over. Are for the over on James Harden's points at 16.5. So you could definitely go that route if you wanted to. Going up against Utah. Utah, not a very tough defensive team. I think I would probably call James Harden the point guard for the Clippers. If you take a look at this matchup, Utah versus point guards. Let's see. Last 7 games, Utah's given up about 25 points per game. About 25.5 points per game, which actually is a little bit more difficult of a matchup than I would have expected. I thought maybe they'd be a little bit higher up on this list as far as points allowed to opposing point guards last 7 games, but they're not. They're actually somewhat decent at defending point guards when it comes to points. Now, somebody mentioned, what about James Harden's assists? Those are actually, matchup-wise, potentially the better play. 10.6 assists allowed by the Utah Jazz over the last 7 games. That's the 4th highest assist per game average. And they're also giving up a truckload of rebounds per game to point guards. So you could go rebounds and assists for Harden instead of just the points. That could be a move. That could be an option. Or maybe you go PRA. You get a little bit of the points plus some rebound and assist love. You go PRA on that. You could go that route too. Or another way you could go, fantasy score. Utah's given up the 4th most fantasy points per game to opposing point guards over the last 7 games. So you can go that route as well. All right. 4 different ways, 3 different ways maybe you play Harden. But Harden against Utah should be a somewhat decent matchup. So yeah, the best or most plus EV move right now for an over on Harden would be like the PRA. PRA is at 28.5. It's got almost a 51.8% chance. If you're looking for an over that doesn't push or tie, you can go PRA on Harden. Cool. Your other one was Fred VanVleet, right? Fred VanVleet over on points. Let's look at him real quick. Fred VanVleet's points, 16.5, just like James Harden, but 50.7% chance that he goes under. So again, if you're thinking about taking the over on Fred VanVleet, you may not want to do it on PrizePicks because it's not a plus EV play. And I'm going to keep reiterating this over and over again. You should really only be doing yourself a favor by playing nothing but plus EV plays. What are plus EV plays? Plus EV plays are basically when you go out and you look at the sports books and you see something is either a betting favorite to go over or a betting favorite to go under, you want to be playing those picks that have a lot of juice. What's a lot? Well, minus 130 or higher, minus 130, minus 140, minus 150, minus 160 betting odds to either go over or under. That's considered juicy. And so like Fred VanVleet over 8.5 assists, you're seeing him at minus 134 to go over 8.5 assists. Minus 130, minus 135, minus 137 to go over 8.5 assists. That's why it's a more plus EV play. That's why it ranks higher when you look at all the Fred VanVleet props. That's why you have his assists up there as the second best plus EV play at 8.5 assists. So those are the type of plays you should be playing more of on PrizePicks. The ones that are juiced up on the sports books, the ones where you're seeing like maybe a point of difference between PrizePicks and all the sports books, like we saw for Donovan Mitchell's points. He was at 27.5 on FanDuel, 28.5 everywhere else. Those are opportunities for you to take advantage of. So anyway, Fred VanVleet, the better play would be the assist for the over, just based on the math and the odds behind the pick. But as far as projections go for Fred VanVleet, he's at 15.8 points going up against Denver. So that's not good if you're thinking about taking the over. And I think you wanted to take the over, right, Val? Yeah, you said over on both Fred VanVleet and James Harden for the points. Second projection for Fred VanVleet, 16.2. So, I mean, the projections just aren't there. They're not loving Fred VanVleet to go over 16.5 points tonight against Denver. So just be careful with that one. Don't play it on PrizePicks. May not want to play it at all, but especially not on PrizePicks. And so I'm going to leave him out, and I think I'm going to cut James Harden out too. Cool. You can get Joker and Fred for 19 combined. Is that assists, Julio? 19 combined assists. You didn't miss a lot. Not a lot. As you can see, we're just still kind of chilling with Kyle Lowry at more than 9 points. You didn't miss a whole lot. Not much. Just a little bit. Rod says, sorry to bring up Derek White again. No, you're fine, Rod. Rod, you're fine. Here's the issue. Here's the issue. When somebody posts Derek White, just his name, just Derek White, literally 10, 20 times in a row with no context, no information. It's not like I like Derek White's points. Here's why. It's not like I like Derek White's rebounds and assists. Here's why. It's literally just his name. Derek White, Derek White, Derek White, Derek White. Like, what are you saying, bro? Like, say something. Tell me more, you know? But you actually come with a little bit more information here. So you're liking Derek White under 5 assists. And it's got a 53.6% chance to hit. Perfect. See? Yeah, that's a reasonable situation. So let's look at Derek White. He's at 5 assists. He's going up against the New York Knicks tonight. And when you go and you plug him into the optimizer, Derek White is a 53.6% optimal play to go under 5 assists. He's at 4.5 on all the books. But you're seeing 5.5 on some sites like DraftKings. So PrizePicks is kind of taking the middle ground once again here. They've posted them up at 5. So they split the difference between 4.5 and 5.5. So I can see why maybe you're thinking about taking the under here with a chance to hit at almost 54%. So let's just run some projections here on Derek White real quick. Kristaps Porzingis is going to play tonight. Derek White projected for 5.4 assists, according to Fantasy Labs. So they don't have him going for much higher than 5 tonight. 5 is probably about the ceiling from what we're seeing here based on this projection. Take a look at the second one, though. Derek White, not Derrick Henry. Derek White is projected for 5.1 assists on a line of 5. So, yeah, I mean, 5 looks like about the most that he's going to get. 5 looks like the ceiling. So, I mean, if you wanted to take the under at 5, you could. It could very well tie or push. You always run into a potential for that to happen. But, I mean, the plus EV move is to take the under at 5. He's not projected for 6 or 7 assists or anything like that tonight, so I don't mind that. Everyday Fantasy's liking Dennis Schroeder for over 2.5 free throw makes and Jaylen Brown under 18.5 field goal attempts. All right, let me look at both of those. Look at both of those real quick. Appreciate the super chat again, Mr. Everyday Fantasy. You the man. You really the man. Free throw makes for Dennis Schroeder. You're liking him to go for at least 3 tonight going up against Charlotte. And this one's interesting. Brown field goal attempts. Is that Jaylen Brown? 18.5 field goal attempts. Boom. Going up against New York. You like the under on that one. Cool. All right. We might have enough to build out a second 6 pick, man, the way things are going. Let's look at these. So Schroeder's at 2.5 free throw makes. We don't really have like odds or sportsbook data to compare to on the free throw makes, but I do have a couple of projections for Dennis Schroeder and those free throw makes. So let's run those real quick. Dennis Schroeder's free throw makes are projected for 3.07. That's RotoWire's projection, 3.0. So 3 or more free throw makes is what we want to see. Taking a look at the second projection here. Now you can find a free throw make projection over on NumberFire. Here's how you do it. You look for the player that you're interested in. In this case, it's Dennis Schroeder. You click Dennis Schroeder's name, and then this page will pop up. Once you're on this page, you get your scroll on, and you stop right here where it says game log. You following? Under game log, you'll see upcoming projections. And underneath upcoming projections, you'll have a free throw make dash free throw attempts category. Okay. Now you see the projection, it's 3.1 projected makes on a 3.6 projected attempts. So that's 2 projections now that have Dennis Schroeder for more than 2.5 free throw makes. Now I think I got one more site that offers free throw make projections, and in this case it's LineStar. LineStar is another pretty cool site. They got a lot of different projections in there. LineStar's got Dennis Schroeder at 2 free throw makes. So you got LineStar with the under, but you got 2 other sites with the over. So if you had to kind of like pick and choose, I guess you would say you would take the over because the majority of the projection sites have him going over 2.5 free throw makes. So we'll leave him in there. And then you got Jaylen Brown for 18.5 field goal attempts. Now, again, you're not going to find too many sites out there that have field goal attempt projections, but in this case, RotoWire does. So we could type in Jaylen Brown's name. And when we do, go under to Jaylen Brown, and you go over here to the FGA category, field goal attempts. He's projected for 17.7 field goal attempts on a line of 18.5. He's going up against New York, so could be a slower paced game. Fewer possessions would mean fewer shot attempts for everybody involved in that game, including Jaylen Brown. So this projection for Jaylen Brown is for the under on his field goal attempts. Let's see if let me see if NumberFire has a projection for Jaylen Brown. Not Troy Brown, Jaylen Brown. So they don't have a field goal attempts projection for him here. But if we open up again the player page here, let's go see if it's under here hiding. It is. His field goal attempts projection, according to NumberFire, 17.5, putting him under by 1 whole field goal attempt against the Knicks tonight. So you got 2 different projections for Jaylen Brown. Both have him going under 18.5 field goal attempts. So for me, he can stay in there. He's projected to go under. 2 different models. We could ride with that one. Let me see. Do they have him on LineStar for field goal attempts? They don't. No field goal attempts for Brown on LineStar. So we'll go with RotoWire. We'll go with NumberFire in this case, and we'll go with Don P, Everyday Fantasy suggestion, and we'll take Jaylen Brown for under 18.5 field goal attempts. All right, Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Rudy Gobert for more on his points and rebounds. Sorry, all love. Listen, Ryan, you ain't got to do all that. Thank you for the $10 super chat, though, Ryan. Means a lot, brother. Rudy Gobert going up against Memphis tonight. Is that right? Minnesota versus Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go take a look at Gobert of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Played a pretty nice game the last time he took the floor, and I think that was against San Antonio, if I'm not mistaken, and fellow countryman Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, and Rudy Gobert he's been tearing it up. Now, the last time that he did go under his 25.5 points and rebounds line was against tonight's opponent, the Memphis Grizzlies. He only had 17 points and rebounds the last time that he played Memphis, which was just like, what, 2 weeks ago? November 26th. So he did struggle against the Grizz in that particular matchup. But ever since then, 33 PR, 28 PR, 38 PR, and 36 PR. 4 straight games where he's just demolished 25.5 points and rebounds. But I don't know. Maybe Memphis is his Achilles heel. Maybe he struggles tonight. Let's take a look at this one and just, see if this is a plus EV play or not. We want to make sure that, again, we're playing nothing but plus EV plays. So take a look at this first one here. Gobert at 25.5 points and rebounds. 52.2% chance that he stays under. So you're seeing the public out there betting this prop for the under, meaning they don't have a whole lot of faith in Rudy Gobert's ability to cover 25.5 against Memphis. And so if you were thinking about taking the over on Gobert, I would say probably not on PrizePicks. Don't do it. The over on Gobert's PR would not be a plus EV play. If you feel strongly that Gobert is going to continue to do well despite a matchup in which he's failed, well, then go take him, but don't take him on PrizePicks. Take him on a sports book. Take him on Sleeper. Take him on Hot Streak or somewhere like that. But don't take him on PrizePicks. It's just not a good move. Not a good move. But let's run some projections. See what the models have to say here. The different projection systems can sometimes shed a little bit more light on how a player may or may not perform on a given night. So this first projection, pretty sharp, 25.8 points and rebounds. Again, the line's 25.5, so a projection of 25.8 is slightly higher, but not by much. I like a stronger projection than that. Ideally, I would like to see a little bit more. Second projection for Gobert. RotoWire's got him at 25.9. So again, very sharp, very tight projections for Gobert in these points and rebounds tonight. He has been performing well, but he also did lay an egg versus this same team just a few games ago. Now, NumberFire, the free projection side of the bunch, has him at 13.6 points plus another 12.5 rebounds, bringing him up to 26.1 points and rebounds. So, for me, I'm not going to play it. Especially not on PrizePicks, I wouldn't play it. Maybe you take a little bit of a dabble, a nibble on this for the over on like a sports book or something, but for a PrizePicks play, I can't advise that you take it. It just doesn't make any sense to do that. Damn, got a lot of super chats. Got a lot more super chats. Hold on, let me get to these real quick. Contavious is like in De'Aaron Fox rebounds over, or is it a push? It could be a push. Let's go look at it real quick. Appreciate all the new subscribers too, by the way. We're at what? 17,513. 17,513 subs, guys. We're on our way to 18,000 already. We've already gotten over the hump and we're well on our way to 18. That's incredible. I appreciate all the support. If you're watching for the first time, maybe you've never seen me before, get used to this big, handsome face because I'm going to be posting more videos on YouTube each and every day. So you should be subscribed with all notifications turned on. You should be pounding that like button. All right? You should be doing that too. All right? And you should be sharing the channel, sharing the live stream with as many people as possible because we have an obligation and duty to get money-making moves out to more people, right? We want to help other people make money with us. And, we don't want anybody to be left behind. So let's share the channel, share the live stream, share the videos. I appreciate you guys spreading the word. All right, De'Aaron Fox, 4 rebounds. Phoenix Suns, that's the matchup. No KD, no Grayson Allen for Phoenix. Keegan Murray, is he in or out? I thought I saw some news on Keegan Murray. Is Keegan Murray playing tonight? I think he might be back. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Chris Duarte is out. He's questionable, I should say. Chris Duarte is questionable tonight, which really doesn't matter a whole lot for De'Aaron Fox. But yeah, it's going to be Fox, Herter, Barnes, Murray, and Sabonis for the Sacramento Kings. So everybody seems to be full go. Everyone seems to be playing the normal 5 for the Sacramento Kings. Take a look at the rebounds here for De'Aaron Fox at 4 rebounds. About a 51% chance that he goes for 4 or more. 4 or more. Now, I say 4 or more because DraftKings had him at 3.5 rebounds. He was a minus 200 betting favorite to go over 3.5 boards. So PrizePicks had to do what they had to do. They bumped him up from 3.5 to 4. Now, there was so much juice on the over at 3.5 that you saw some of these other sports books then offer him at 4.5 rebounds. Now, at 4.5, you're starting to see a little bit of resistance there, meaning they like him to go over 3.5, but people aren't necessarily liking him to go over 4.5. So yes, it could very well push, and it looks like it's setting up to be one of those props that ties in this case. But very strong odds that he finds at least 4 rebounds. Let's go see how this is projecting across the different player prop projection models. Fox is at 3.9 rebounds. So right there at 4 boards, kind of like we suspected, right? Looks like a real push based on that first projection. Second projection, 5.21. So there's a little bit of hope. There's a little bit of that upside that you're hoping for, a little higher ceiling there at 5.2 rebounds. Maybe he, in fact, does pull in 5 boards. So it could be worth taking for the over on PrizePicks at 4. And then we got a third projection. Third projection on Number Fire. They've got him at 4.5. So that could break down to 4, or they could break up to 5. So there's some potential there. Potential's there for Fox to get at least 4. Maybe he finds 5, though. So I'm okay with it. We'll leave him in there. This is only a $5 protected play. It's not like we're getting crazy anyway. So I'll leave him in there, Contavious. Good looks. Brandon coming through with the super chat. Darian, you left a super chat, but I don't see like a message attached to it. So I'm not sure what that was about. Daniel, same thing. I saw you left a super chat. Maybe you're just leaving one. Maybe you didn't have anything to say. Maybe you were just being nice. I don't know. But Brandon did have something to say. He was liking some Mitchell Robinson. Mitch Rob for PRA under. Let's look at that one. Mitchell Robinson, New York Knicks big man, going up against the Boston Celtics. Boston's going to have Kristaps Porzingis active. So he'll probably be the starting center unless they decide to go a little bit of a bigger lineup with Horford at the 5 spot. But typically speaking, when Porzingis is healthy, Horford comes off the bench. Porzingis starts at the 5, and then they go with Tatum, Brown, White, and Holiday. So I'm expecting that to be the starting lineup. So it should be Mitchell Robinson versus Kristaps Porzingis. Now, Mitchell Robinson's been known to be a little bit of a fouler. He gets a little handsy. He gets a little slap happy. Maybe a guy like Porzingis gets him into foul trouble. I don't know. But maybe. Daniel says, you can put 20 on this one also. It says it was a $5 play. That's what I saw for this one. It's a $5 protected play. Let me look. Yeah, this one, $5 entry max. I've already used my $20 one. Somehow I got 2. I got one for 20 and I got one for 5. So this is the $5 one. We've already used the 20. We burned the 20 already. All right. Let's take a look at Mitchell Robinson for more or less. No, you wanted the less. Excuse me. You wanted the less for Mitchell Robinson. All right. Let's run the numbers on that one and see if that's a good play, plus EV play or not. Appreciate all the super chats. Please appreciate all the 472 likes, 600 plus people still watching, still rocking with me as we work our way through some more of these player props. Mitchell Robinson under 16.5 PRA, a 53.5% chance that he goes under that number against Boston tonight. So now that we know that the EV move is to take the under on Mitchell Robinson, what about the projections on this guy? Are they projecting for more or less? First projection on Robinson, 16.2. Slightly less. Not a whole lot less, but slightly less. We'll take it. Second projection, though, has him all the way up at about 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's a little too high. That's much. That's much. Too much. check a third projection. In this case, we'll go back to Number Fire. Number Fire's got him at just 6.6 points, plus 10.6 boards and 1.2 assists, bringing him up to 18.4 PRA. I'm going to leave it alone. I don't like the fact that 2 out of 3 projections have him going over 16.5 by like about 2 or more. Just not vibing well with me. But if you want to just go with the odds pulled from the sports books, I mean, the plus EV move would be to take the under. I think for me though, I'm seeing too much conflict, and so I'm gonna just leave it alone. Gonna leave it alone. What else? Oneid says, what are your thoughts on Derek White for more on the points and assists? And more on the points, rebounds, and assists. Perfect. Well, I demonstrated for you guys earlier this morning. Those of y'all may have seen it. Looking at Drew Holiday and his points and assists versus the New York Knicks, he's 0 for 2 this season, is Holiday. Now, I'm only bringing up Holiday because if you're thinking that Derek White makes for a good over, then maybe Drew Holiday makes for a good under. So with Kristaps Porzingis in the lineup, with the rest of these Celtics, which would be Tatum, Brown, White, here's what you're left with. Drew Holiday at 17.5 points and assists. He's gone under this line in 7 out of 11 games. He's only went over 4 times. So I was liking Drew Holiday for under 17.5 points and assists. So I know you mentioned Derek White. Maybe going over on some Derek White plays. Let's look at all the Derek White plays right now. Derek White, points and assists under at 18.5 is the plus EV move. 52.5% chance that he stays under. You also mentioned the PRA. The PRA is a slightly plus EV play for the over. I mean, 50% isn't much. 50.2% isn't much better. So there's a lot of people gassing up Derek White today. I mean, but I can tell you this, that the odds, the juice, for the most part, the best way to play Derek White is under on damn near everything. Under on fantasy score, under on assists, under on rebounds and assists, under on points and assists, under on points. So, I mean, it's the Knicks, guys. The Knicks are tough. They're a tough defensive team. They play at a slower pace typically. So I don't know. There's just not a lot of love from the betting public when you look at the sports book lines on anything Derek White as far as overs go. So I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Now, as far as projections go, maybe that's a different story. He's projected for, 13.3 points. You're seeing lines of 12.5 and 13.5. He's projected for 22.2 points, rebounds, and assists. Alexandria, yes, you can absolutely watch the replay for sure. They post a replay of this. You'll just need to go under playlist because it'll be unlisted, so you won't see it on like my main channel page. But if you go under playlists and go to podcasts, you'll see it under the podcasts playlist, the replay. You can go back and watch the whole thing if you want. But yeah, I mean, Derek White's just not projecting phenomenally for anything. Points and rebounds, 16.8. Everything's just real sharp for Derek White. 18.6 points and assists. The lines are at 17.5 and 18.5. So I don't know what the infatuation or love is with Derek White. I mean, maybe he goes out and performs. I mean, he very well could. He's good. He's a good player, but just not seeing it. Let's take Blake Buffington. Anthony Edwards, rebounds and assists. And I think that might be the last one, the last super chat. Blake. Yeah, I think that's the last one. We'll make Blake's the last one, then we'll let you guys get out of here. But Blake's liking Anthony Edwards, rebounds and assists. I'm not sure which way he's liking it, if he's liking it over or under. But let's look at it. Ant-Man. Kind of been struggling the last few games. I don't know if he's completely healthy or what, but you're seeing a lot of unders for Anthony Edwards today, going up against Memphis. Kind of a tough matchup. But you got Anthony Edwards under 5 assists, 53.5% chance. You got Anthony Edwards under PRA, 35.5, 53.2% chance. You've got Anthony Edwards under points and rebounds at 30.5, almost a 53% chance that he goes under there. And you're already seeing some sports books like DraftKings, like BetMGM, like Caesars offering Anthony Edwards for 29.5, which might be an indication that he's a little bit too high at 30.5. And the same thing with his PRA. PrizePicks has him at 35.5. FanDuel has him at 35.5. But everywhere else you look, Anthony Edwards is at 34.5. So you are getting a point of value on Ant-Man. Now, you mentioned the rebounds and assists, which have already been bumped. They've actually been bumped down in this case. They're at 10.5 on the books, but they're at 10 on PrizePicks. So people were betting the under at 10.5 rebounds and assists. PrizePicks acted accordingly, bumping him down to 10. And now that he's at 10, you got about a 51.2% chance that Anthony Edwards is going to have 10 or more rebounds and assists. Tiana, I got you. We'll show you everything that we've talked about so far, everything that we've taken. I'll do that in just a minute. Let me take this. Well, I got one more now. Let me take Daniel's super chat after this super chat about Anthony Edwards, and then we'll kind of do a little recap. We'll show you what we've discussed, what we've taken thus far. I got you. All right, so Anthony Edwards, 51.2% chance that he goes over 10 rebounds and assists. So it could tie, it could push like a lot of these could. He's projected for 10. This is Fantasy Labs that has him at exactly 10. So, I mean, if there's ever an indication that he might tie or push, that first projection seems to be the one. 11.3 projected rebounds and assists over here on RotoWire. So they got him going over by about 1.3. And then Anthony Edwards is at what? 9.9 rebounds and assists. So right around 10, maybe more for Anthony Edwards. So if you want to take it, just take it knowing that, hey, it could tie, it could push, it could end up being one that, you know, makes your entry go down a notch, reverts down to a smaller entry size. But hit rates have been pretty decent here for Edwards. He just had 12 rebounds and assists versus Memphis back on November 26th, 3 games ago too. So you got a recent sample size too. But here's what we got so far. A lot of potential push plays. Lowry over 9 points. White under 5 assists. Schroeder over 2.5 free throw makes. Brown under 18.5 field goal attempts. Fox over 4 rebounds. Anthony Edwards over 10.5 rebounds and assists. It's a $5 protected play is what we're looking at here. At least that's what I'm doing. CJ, they're going to bump up all the picks. Probably. Maybe. Possibly. That could happen. It's very real. You guys see my the early release videos that I do. They always tend to get, you know, bumped. Early bird gets the worm, gang. You know how it goes. Got to get in where you fit in. Before them lines get away from you. Got to take them. How do we feel about Zubac? Points or points and rebounds? He's been more of a guy that I would take for like first half because Zubac tends to kind of get game scripted out. By game scripted out, I mean Coach Lou doesn't really give this man a lot of fourth quarter run. Doesn't really give him a lot of love in the second half. He plays a good amount in the third, and then fourth, he's lucky to touch the floor again most nights. And so he has to basically hit the over on his props. If you're taking the over on any Zubac props, he has to hit them in about 3/4 of gameplay because that fourth quarter is not promised. It's not guaranteed. Now tonight, maybe he gets a little bit more run time going up against what? Walker Kessler. I don't know if Kelly Olynyk's playing or not, but they might need his size. In other words, going up against Utah. Omer Yurtseven, they might need some Zubac size in the middle, but it's hard to trust Zubac for full game props because he's just not out there for many minutes, especially in the second half. So if you love some Zubac, consider some Zubac for the first half only. This game could turn into a blowout too, so there's that part. Could be a blowout. But you're liking or thinking about liking Zubac for more on his points and rebounds at 20.5. He has missed in his last 2 games, but previously 37, 22, and 31. So let's run the Zubac optimizer here. We're going to see if he's optimal or not. For the points and rebounds, the top way to play Ivica Zubac is for the over. 52% chance that he goes over 20.5 points and rebounds. So, I mean, it is a plus EV play, technically speaking. I just have my concerns about his minutes, because a lot of times you're just not getting that full run of minutes that you need. So he's going to have to smash this in the first like 3 quarters. But yeah, it is a plus EV play. He's projected for about 21.8 points and rebounds. So that is more than 20.5. So you got a good projection on the first model. Second projection, 22.78. Again, the line is 20.5, so very healthy second projection for Zoo. And then a third projection for Zubac. You got him at 10.6 points plus another 8.8 rebounds. What is that? 19.4 or something like that? Let's make sure we get our math right. 19.4 points and rebounds. So that puts him well under. So yeah, I would maybe consider Zubac for like a first half only option. If you have access to Prop Stat Cash, you can look at like his first half, second half hit rates. So if you're thinking about doing some Zoo, you can go like first half PRA potentially. I don't know what his line's out on PrizePicks. What are his first half lines? Let me look at him. Boop, 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 boop. Go Zuby. 5.5 points, 10.5 PRA for the first half. So if you bump this down to 10.5, I mean, he's hit the over on first half PRA in 12 out of 20 games. That's a 60% hit rate. Not terrible. He's 3 out of 5 head-to-head versus Utah. He's only played Utah once this season. Only had 3 PRA in the first half. Probably got into foul trouble. That's another thing. This guy, he's a rim protector and tends to get into some foul trouble too, which could absolutely smoke any type of overs that you take on Ivica Zubac, unfortunately. He goes for the shot blocks. Looking at his points, though, his points were at 5.5, 50% hit rate. So out of like first half points or first half PRA, the first half PRA would be the better move, the higher hit rate of the two. Yeah, 60% hit rate. 12 of 20 games he's gone over in the first half at 10.5 PRA. So Rod says that somebody said CP3 is out tonight. I think he's questionable. I didn't think we got an official out yet. Let me look. Chris Paul is questionable with an illness. Yeah, he's questionable. CP3 is questionable, not completely ruled out just yet. So like I said, y'all got to be plugged in, got to stay on top of the news. You just never know what's going to happen. But what I have like $5 on this. Yeah, I'll put 5 on it. It's a $5 protected play, guys. Like I said, I'm not going crazy with this one. But let me just recap everything that we've taken in today's video, today's live stream. A lot of push potential, which I'm okay. I mean, at $5, you know, not betting the farm, not betting the house on this thing. Lowry over 9 points. Derek White over 5. Let me hide my cam. Dennis Schroeder over 2.5 free throw makes. Jaylen Brown for less than 18.5 field goal attempts. I really like that one. That one's kind of interesting. De'Aaron Fox for more than 4 rebounds, and Anthony Edwards for more than 10.5 rebounds and assists. So a lot of pushes, a lot of potential ties, but like I said, I'm only putting $5 on it. I'm not going crazy. You should try to keep your entry size to like 1 to 5%. 1 to 5% of whatever you have in your PrizePicks account, your bankroll. All right. So if you have $500, for example, 1% of 500 is $5. You should make your entry size about $5 an entry, just so it's sustainable. I mean, this is daily fantasy sports, right? We can do this every single day if we play our bankroll right. Here's the first entry we put together. This was the $20 protected play. Nurkic over 13.5 rebounds and assists. SGA for less. than 5.5 rebounds. Desmond Bane for less than 35.5 PRA. Jalen Williams for more than 7.5 rebounds and assists. Killian Hayes for less than 3.5 rebounds. And Donovan Mitchell for less than 28.5 points. Well, no, yeah, for a protected play, that's a different situation. I'm talking about just your everyday, what you should be putting on each entry. 1 to 5%. If you don't have $500 in your PrizePicks account, well then you should probably just be betting $5 an entry, to be honest with you. Some of y'all are putting in 20, betting the whole 20, losing, going back to the deposit line. Some of y'all are, living deposit to deposit. It's a tough way to play, man. You really need a bankroll. You really need like a nice little bankroll to kind of start with on PrizePicks. I mean, you're setting yourself up for success that way. 500, a few hundred, whatever you can afford. And then build some structure into how you bet each and every day. 1 to 5%. If you're feeling really confident, really good about it, put 5%. If you're feeling not so confident, maybe it's 1%. Maybe you put more like 5% on your flex plays. Maybe you put like 1% on anything that's a power play where there's more risk involved. And then kind of figure out, well, how much do I want to risk each and every day in total? If I have a bankroll of $500, maybe I only want to play about $20 a day. I don't know. That's up to you guys to decide. But, I just want you guys to have success. I want this to be sustainable. I want this to be something that you enjoy doing, a hobby that you can do each and every day. We're not going to get rich, unfortunately. We're not going to be able to quit our day jobs, unfortunately. We're not going to be able to retire early, unfortunately. It's just the reality, the truth of the situation. But we could have some fun. We could make some extra cash, some walking around money. We could definitely do that, especially with the hot streak that we've had in our recent videos, right? We've been helping people pay bills. I had somebody in Discord tell me last night, and I don't know if this is true or if this is just blowing smoke. This kid told me that over the last few videos that we've put out on YouTube, that he's been able to pay down his student loans by $10,000. I was like, what? $10,000, bro? Are you serious? He was like, yeah, I've been tailing your videos for about a week now. He said, you've helped me pay down my student loans by 10 grand. I was like, holy smokes, we're really changing lives out here. I've had people say, hey, you're making great content. Your content has helped me and my wife. We're having a lot of fun with it. We're bonding over it. We're really enjoying this experience. We're up to $1,000 won because of your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. I've had people tell me that they're able to put more Christmas presents under the Christmas tree because of the success that we've had in our recent videos. And so stuff like that, that's why I do what I do. We get up here, we have a lot of fun, we cut up, we make jokes. But stuff like that, where you're really impacting and changing people's lives, that is really, it's a good feeling. That's why I really do what I do, to be honest with you. And so, we do that here on the YouTube channel for free. We do that behind the scenes in Dub Club. If you're interested in joining Dub Club, I've left a link for you guys in the live chat. If you want to give back, if I've helped you win any kind of money and you just want to give back, you want to support free content, Dub Club's the #1 way you could do that for 67 cents per day, $20 a month, whatever you want to do. Link for the Dub Club is in the chat, live chat. But yeah, we're putting presents under the tree. We're stuffing the stockings. We're helping people pay their bills off. Somebody said, hey, you helped me get caught up on some of my bills recently. So there's that part. We're not going to be able to retire early or nothing like that. We're not going to get rich. We're not going to replace our primary source of income. But we're going to have some fun and we're going to put some money in some pockets, man. So that's what I'm doing it for. And I appreciate everybody who's along for the ride. Hopefully you guys have taken some of the picks we discussed today and in the first look early morning video. Hopefully you have. Hopefully they hit. Hopefully we continue to stay hot. Guys, those of you who are in Dub Club, if I find anything else that's worth playing today, I'm going to send it your way. And if you're not in Dub Club yet, join up. But that's it for me. Y'all have a good one. Good luck.